It comes after farmers were directly impacted by Trump's tariffs, with China temporarily blocking purchases of soybeans earlier this year. Tsunami warnings now downgraded following the powerful earthquake in northern Japan. Officials say at least 13 people were injured. The Golden Globe nominations are out. Best Motion Picture nods include Sinners and Hamnet, and one battle after another. This is ABC News. Paramount has taken aim on the purchase plans for Netflix to acquire storied entertainment giant Warner Brothers.
In quite the Hollywood bidding war, Paramount is saying not so fast to Netflix's almost $28 a share deal to buy Warner Brothers, saying it will do $30 a share, but its deal would also include HBO Max, CNN, and film production that Netflix would not take in its offer. Paramount CEO David Ellison saying his company never got a response to its offer last week. They claim they have the superior deal and should win Warner Brothers. Today, Warner Brothers board saying it has a new offer from Paramount, but it's still recommending shareholders approve the Netflix deal. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The big chill continues due to an Arctic blast sinking into the U.S., bringing the coldest temperatures yet of the season to the Northeast and parts of the South. Areas of the Midwest racked up more snow, Chicago getting more than
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who prefers to travel by catapult, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, it is finally Monday. We are back on the air, ready to talk about the things in life that make us happy. And start your week off on a good note, hopefully. Hope you had a great day. Hope you're staying warm. It was a frigid weekend here in Wisconsin over most of the state. And it looks like there's no sign of let up in sight. We've got weather on the way. We'll talk about that a little bit. And we'll talk about two big sporting events over the weekend. Packers-Bears, Marquette UW. Lots going on there. We've got, oh my gosh, so much going on. We've got Netflix mergers and Don Rosen. If you listen to WRJN or hear Don Rosen here on the network, he's been a guest on this show. I have a really interesting tidbit that Don shared with me earlier about Netflix. And we've got news about a big beer coming to Wisconsin that's going to be released here in 2026. And I'm going to have to lean on Conrad a little bit for that because I'm not a huge beer drinker, but apparently this beer and this news is huge. Lots going on. Great guests. We are going to kick off the week right here tonight and do it in style. We've got Mike Clemens coming up at 5:35. He's going to break down the Packer-Bear game. It was a good one. And we'll talk to Mike about that at 5:35 and get his thoughts. And we've got Wisconsin Historical Society guests on tonight, all kinds of fun guests. Mike will be here at, as I mentioned, at 5:35. Glenn Silber, Wisconsin native filmmaker, will be on to discuss his really cool new documentary called Baristas versus Billionaires. That's coming up at 6:10 when Glenn will be here. He's in town in Madison, that is, for a couple night run over at the beautiful Barrymore Theater. Our resident mob expert Bob Dennis is going to drop by the studio at 6:35 to talk about Wise Guys and their connection to Wisconsin and their connection to the holidays. Should be a really fun segment, as it always is with Bob. At 6:35, we've got Bridget Zilke from the Wade House, one of the many fascinating Wisconsin historical sites. Bridget will join us and tell us about a really, really cool event going on at Wade House this weekend. So you're hearing a great night, folks. We're covering several different topics from all over the state, and it should be a good show. Working the board tonight is Conrad Krieger. Hello, Conrad.
Hello.
Are you exhausted after trying to figure out this?
Sometimes technology just doesn't like you.
You got it working, though. It looks like, I can see myself. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a working camera. It's on my side of the glass, so there's a little bit of reflection, but that's all right.
Yeah, it works. It looks
It
all
works,
right.
works fine.
And I have to have the lights on in the studio tonight because we can't see otherwise.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
And I like my nightlight back there on, but that's okay. We'll do the show. in a well-lit room tonight.
Yes.
I usually turn on the lights anyway when guests come into the studio because I don't want to give them the wrong idea. And Bob Dennis has been here several times. So lots of fun stuff. We got a great question tonight, folks, and it is a theme, kind of a theme question here at Nite Lite tonight. Why don't we do this, Con? Let's do the question of the night before we do the text to win, because I've got text to win information coming up too, and you're going to get the keyword in this first segment, folks. So don't go anywhere. But right now, it's time for our Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your favorite football movie? We are in the throes. The NFL season is really heating up. We've got a great battle that we're coming off of yesterday with the Packers and the Bears. The NFC North is still open for the taking. We had a great game last night that saw Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City lose, which is always fun.
Great night.
It was a great night. So that's our question tonight. What is your favorite football movie? There's been a lot of great ones, and some that were like had football as a theme. You could even say Something About Mary, because that had football. Brett Favre was in it, or Favre. So if it's remotely tied to football, we'll accept that answer. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. What is your favorite football movie? If you're listening on the app, you can text us on the app as well. Very easy to use. Just click the little text icon and fire away, and I will read your text on the radio. And if you're watching on the stream, and people can see us on the stream, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Drop us a stream comment, and I will read it on the radio. Love when you guys participate. Just a reminder, too, the phone lines are open, folks. You can jump in and talk about anything we're talking about here in hour number one and throughout the course of the show. We've got some bad weather on the way, Conrad. I don't know if you know that.
I do.
I just found out, and you and I found out the exact same way.
Yeah,
We got a Spectrum notice. And, you know, I have the Apple iPhone weather app. There was no snow in any of the next few days.
Yeah.
But then I clicked like in the middle of the night and there were snowflakes, and we're supposed to get like 4 inches of snow in Marinette, about 4 inches in Green Bay. Madison and Milwaukee on Wednesday are supposed to get freezing rain. So that'll be interesting. Just a mess. And it's only December.
You know, it always scares me when it says freezing rain. I'm like, great. That's going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah. And I need new tires too. My mechanic said, hey, you should probably change your tires. I'm like, it's only late November. I'm fine for at least another month because I've been going based on what it's been like the last few years. But as it turns out, I went to Milwaukee this past weekend for the Milwaukee Independent Film Awards and had a great time there. But that was I think that was the fifth time. I woke up Sunday morning ready to go back up to Marinette, and my wife and I get to the car, and we had to brush it off like 5 times already. It wasn't even forecast.
I stayed over at my brother's on Saturday, so Sunday I was like, I didn't even go outside until after the Packer game.
Yeah, it sucked.
So
but you could watch the game.
And
you could watch the game and go, all right, it's not snowing out.
Yeah.
So that was the one advantage you could do.
I guess, yeah.
So anyway, we'll keep you posted if there's any huge weather related news. At least in Northeast Wisconsin, it's supposed to start tonight, very late as I understand it, and then again, was it tomorrow night, Con?
Yeah, you said tomorrow around 6.
6 o'clock, yeah.
Which sucks, but
yeah. And then I think Madison and Milwaukee might get a little bit, but not quite as much. But so we'll keep you posted. But let us know. This is kind of cool. We've got for you beer drinkers, and I'm not even a drinker anymore. I don't really do alcohol per se. Maybe a little rubbing alcohol once in a while if I'm really thirsty. But you know, in a pinch. We've got a beer coming to Wisconsin that is 200 years old, Yinling. Now, if you're a beer drinker, you've probably heard of this. You heard of it. I've never heard of this beer. And Aaron Carreno, one of our Civic Media colleagues here, gave me this information. It's coming to Wisconsin and Iowa in 2026. It came to Illinois, I believe, this year. They're going to be in 30 states after they're here. Tell me, Conrad, why this beer is so good.
Let's just say it has beer with flavor.
It has what?
It's a beer with flavor.
Oh, okay.
You know, you got those light beers that taste a little bit like water.
Yeah.
This one actually has flavor to it.
Okay.
I don't know else to explain it besides it's just a great beer.
Well, that's great. Is it going to compete with like Spotted Cow?
It's not as good as Spotted Cow. No, I mean, no beer is as good as Spotted Cow. Let's just put it out there. But it's my second favorite. Their Yingling just lager, their basic one, great beer.
Good stuff, huh?
And they also have a light beer too, called Yingling Flight, which is decent.
Okay. So nothing to be scared of. It's not going to overtake Spotted Cow or anything like that. But people in Wisconsin at least will have the option of this beer that is.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this guy built $1 billion fortune on this beer. It's been around 200 years. That's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, we couldn't get it in Wisconsin. I think that's one of my brother's favorite beers, and he'd go down and get beer and come back.
How far do you have to drive?
I think it's in Georgia around there, but you have to go pretty far down.
Your brother might be an alcoholic. That's all I'm saying. If you're willing to drive to Georgia for a beer.
Well, no, he was working there at that time, so it was but
your brother is a fine, upstanding member of society.
If you haven't tried Yingling, highly recommended. When it comes to Wisconsin in 2026.
Absolutely. So my favorite football movie, I'll go first. And let me know, folks. I'm about to give you text to win information. And I know the text line will be dominated by that. But if you want to get your vote in early for best football movie, I'm going to go first. And I'm going to say All the Right Moves. A Tom Cruise movie from probably 84, 85. I think it came out right after Risky Business. But a really good football movie where Craig T. Nelson plays his coach. And Tom Cruise is growing up in a western Pennsylvania steel town, just trying to get out and study, I think, engineering. But he's got to get a scholarship because everybody from the town goes to work in the mills. Really good football movie, really good story. And I would say a runner-up would be Remember the Titans. What about you, Con?
The Longest Yard.
Let me guess, the Adam Sandler one? And
I actually, on social media, I said both versions. They're both funny films. They're both great. I think that was one of my first football movies I think I saw, to be honest.
Okay.
But, I mean, I remember going to Remember the Titans. They did, like, a screening at my local theater, and we went with, like, the whole football team. So that was a pretty cool experience.
Oh, yeah, that's a great... My only issue with Remember the Titans is at the end of the movie, this is just bad writing, but the Titans are down by a touchdown. There's, like, 4 seconds on the clock, and the opposing coach yells, "They're going to throw it deep. Cover deep!" Like, wow, really? You're like the most successful coach in the history of the state? It's such a bad line. Like, you don't need it.
I mean, he could have actually went to some coaches and be like, what is the formation for when you have everyone back? Instead of just saying cover deep.
Either that or just like, let's not worry about the off-tackle run right now. Something. But a great movie, really good movie, solid film. So let us know what your favorite football movie is, folks. As I mentioned, the Packers beat the Bears yesterday. Packer fans are thrilled. And I will say this. All my Bear fan friends weren't like the game was there. You catch that touchdown, and everybody seems to think Ben Johnson would have gone for 2 because that's who he is.
Probably.
Maybe they could have snuck out of there with a win, but the Packers' offense were like surgeons. They'd come out and answer what the Bears did precisely and quickly. And the Bears were like power football in that second half, just running over the Packer defense, which to a Bear fan was like, okay, here we go. But they just don't have the players the Packers have.
The second half they came out and they wasted. They used a lot of clock, and that kept our defense on the field, and it really tired them out.
Yeah,
you could could tell, and I mean, it was such a fun game, and I can't wait in 2 weeks.
It should be good, and it was really cold. We'll see if it's as cold next time. But hey, folks, it is time for me to give you some details on our grown-up gift list multi-state text-to-win contest we're doing here at Civic Media through the 12th. That's Friday. You have 5 days to play. Who doesn't need $200 in their pocket? I know I could sure use it. I'm just not eligible. So if you text in the keyword I'm about to give you, my guess is you know how our contests work here at Civic Media, but you have to have the app. So text in the keyword I'm about to spring on you, and you are eligible for $200 cash. And that will automatically enroll you in the 3 grand prizes category. Brand new snowblower, stainless steel cookware set, or portable air conditioner. You just have to use the app, and I'm going to give you the keyword right now. It's a good one, folks. Easy to remember. Ready for this, Con? Text. T-E-X-T. Text as in text to win. You've got some other information for people, too.
Yeah, you'll get another text, or you'll get a text, and it'll say you can get extra entries.
Yeah.
Follow that link, and then do what it says.
We'll give you even more details right when we come back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Great to have you with me on this Monday. It's Monday, folks, on the Civic Media Radio Network.
There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the ants and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. It's great to have you here, folks. We're starting this week off right. We got a great question. What is your favorite football movie? So get in on that fun. And Mike Clemens coming up in just a few minutes with some. He's going to break down the Packer-Bear game. It was a good one out in the freezing cold at Lambeau yesterday. Did you go to the game, Con?
No, I was at my brother's. He had a little
Soiree.
shindig.
Yeah. A little indoor tailgate.
And,
Not too bad.
had some dip and some buffalo pulled chicken sandwiches.
Ooh, delish.
It was good.
Hey, tell people before we get too far away from this, the key word, folks, for this hour is text, T-E-X-T. Just gave you that before the break, but there are other chances to win if you respond when we send you a confirmation link. You have even more chances to win, pardon me, when you set up or when you subscribe to Civic Media today. And Conrad's also going to tell you how you can get even more chances to win.
Well, once you enter, you'll get a link, and if you follow that, you'll be prompted. You can get extra entries, which is always good. You can follow the Civic Media Today newsletter. That's one of the ways to get to it. Also, you can follow Nite Lite on Apple Podcast and Spotify, and you get 2 extra entries right there.
Look at that. Follow us,
beat
folks. Follow us. Give us a like if you're so inclined, and increase your chances to win $200 or the grand prize. Okay, so this is interesting because I didn't know this until I got here, but you told me that, and I did this in my beats, I think they ran today, Netflix was threatening to buy Warner Brothers. And I say threatening, pardon me, because The CEO of Netflix has basically said he said the days of people going to the movies are over. He wants people sitting in their living rooms watching movies, further isolating us from each other. You might as well sit home on your phone and watch TV. That is not look, we all do that. I love that, but it's a terrible outlook. So Netflix offered, like, I thought it was $72 billion. You said $82 billion.
$82 billion,
it's a ton of money to buy Warner Brothers and their catalog and all their franchises and all their great films. So now today I got here and you told me, Conrad, that Paramount is making a play for Warner Brothers as well.
Yes, a lot more money too. I believe it was $108 billion to buy it.
They don't come in at $83 billion, an extra billion.
It's just like
it seems like bad negotiating.
Yeah, so, I don't know who I want to own it. I wish Warner Brothers would just keep it because I think what they've done with their films is great.
Sure. The oldest studio in Hollywood, I believe. I think it predates Disney. I could be wrong about that.
Like you said, I mean, Netflix, they want to keep you at home.
Right.
And I don't know. I do like some Paramount stuff, but I don't feel like their movies are that compared to Warner Brothers. There's no real.
Well, their movies, they have good movies, but recently I would say Paramount. And if you subscribe to Paramount Plus, they've got all the Taylor Sheridan movies on there or TV shows on there. But he left, and now he's somewhere. I think he's at NBC. That's the network that canceled, I believe, Colbert. Or was it Kimmel? I don't know, but they had to. So whatever. I don't think either one of them. I wish Warner Brothers would just stay Warner Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't want people not to go to movies, and I don't want CEOs and executives overseeing content politically of what we should be watching. Leave that up to us. But we'll see what happens. This is interesting though. Don Rosen, our civic media brother, who does an amazing job down on the morning show at WRJN, spinning the oldies like we do here at WGBW. In my beat about this deal, I said Netflix has come a long way since they used to mail DVDs in those paper containers.
Yeah,
in
I remember.
Mid-2000s or like 2005, whatever it was. Don said, and I didn't know this either, in his email, he said, I was one of the last customers that actually got my movies that way. And he said it was like a year ago. As it turns out, he shared with me the email, and this is from Netflix to our pal Don Rosen. Dear Don, for 25 years, it's been our extraordinary privilege to mail movie nights to our members all across America. On September 29th, 2023, we will ship our final iconic red envelope. While times have changed since our first shipment in March of 1998, our goal has remained the same, to provide you with access to the broadest collection of movies and shows possible, delivered directly to your door with no due dates or late fees. As the DVD business continues, blah, blah, blah. So you get the idea, and Netflix closed it by saying, pop popcorn, fire up the player, and enjoy this final season of red envelopes. Now, to be fair, I think Netflix recently became my favorite streamer. Like, if you're going to watch something at home, at least they drop all the episodes at once, and it's ad-free. It's a little more expensive than the other streamers, but I like that. So as streamers go, I don't mind Netflix, but I don't like them trying to discourage people from going to the movies. So there you go. Lots going on here tonight. Mike Clemens coming up in just a few minutes, folks, and we're going to have some mob talk in hour 2, as well as talk about a great documentary that is playing at the Barrymore Theater Wednesday and Thursday of this week. And then we're going to have a little Wisconsin Historical Society talk in hour 3 regarding the Wade House and a really cool event that's coming up there. But did you see, you know what? How much time do we have?
About a minute and a half.
A minute and a half. All right, I can read some of these. These are some of our social media responses to our question of the day. What is your favorite football movie? Conrad Krieger, The Longest Yard. Both versions are great. Pete Schwaba, All the Right Moves. Rich Locasio, our WRJN pal, says Invincible. What is that one? I don't think I remember that.
I'm trying to remember it, but I don't know if I've seen that in a while.
Thank you, Rich. Matt Harper, Green Bay rock rap artist, says Rudy. Great film.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Rathsack from Ask Your Mother. We love Eric when he and Adam come in. He says, Rudy is an all-timer, The Replacements for a comedy. Nice.
Love
Eric.
The Replacements.
Right, little Keanu Reeves. Scott Tom says, The Longest Yard, the original with Burt Reynolds. Rudy, Leatherheads with John Krasinski and George Clooney was pretty funny. I never saw that. Great
Right.
one, though, Tex.
Yeah.
Scott, good contribution. Kevin Williams, my pal Kevin Williams, says everybody's All-American. Dennis Quaid, forgot about that one, too. Eric Pratt says The Blind Side. Lots of good movies, lots of great football movies, folks. Keep those texts coming and get that keyword in. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. We're coming right back with our pal Mike Clemens to break down the Packer-Bear game. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The FDA has now elevated it to a Class 2 recall, which is where the product can, quote, cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences. The cheese is sold in 31 states, including Wisconsin and Puerto Rico.
Really close at the end, but give a lot of credit to Green Bay. They made a couple more plays than us. Fortunately, there in the second half, our offense was able to find its footing a little bit, both in the run game and the passing game, and it felt like we had a little bit of rhythm. So made it a game, but fell short at the end of the day.
On the fake, Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
Gotta believe they were going to give Caleb a chance to run it. The bootleg to the left, Komet gets behind him, and Caleb not enough on that ball. Nixon recovering in coverage on Komet, underthrown, and Nixon makes the game-saving play in their own end zone. What a game! Halfley fired up, great defense, and it's not a sixth game-winning fourth quarter comeback for this Bears team. They showed a lot of fight today, KB.
It certainly was not, and the game ended, a really good game ended on a fantastic play by the Packer defense. Joining us now to break down the game is our pal, and he is no stranger. He spent a better part of an hour with us last week. He even stuck around for Bar Band Friday night, which was pretty cool. Civic Media Sports Authority, Mike Clemens joins us over the phone. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Pete. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was treated to a wonderful football game yesterday. My team didn't come out ahead, but they look competitive, and that's all I can ask for. And tip of my hat to the Packers. That was a pretty phenomenal way to end the game.
Yeah, Packers defense won after Caleb Williams. I mean, I even took this video that had 1 million views at Packers practice last week, where it's like, why is Micah Parsons running around? It wasn't until I actually got back to the office and looked at it, and it's like, oh, look at it. He's got a football. He's playing Caleb Williams, scrambling around. And the other defensive linemen are chasing him. So number one was playing the role of Caleb Williams for the Packers defensive line. And I'll tell you, he did a pretty good impression because Caleb can really move.
Yeah.
And so they kept him on the run. He started out 1 for 7 because he was under so much pressure.
Yeah.
But, by halftime, I think he kind of got used to what the tempo was going to be and maybe where he could find some lanes where he could at least set up and throw. And he made some pretty spectacular throws. And then it gets down to a 4th and 1, and Green Bay's up 28-21. And so, they've got the Chicago's got the ball in the Green Bay 16. They're 16 yards away from scoring a tie-in touchdown. And then they might have had the decision. Do we kick a point after and tie it up? Or do we go for 2 and try and win it and, avoid overtime? So Caleb takes the ball, and he starts scrambling over to his left, and Keyshawn Nixon is lined up on the left-hand side over the right tackle of the Bears because the guy he's supposed to cover, DJ Moore, a wide receiver, starts out there. But he goes in motion before the snap over to the left tackle. So Keyshawn is trailing him down the line. Ball snap, plays underway. Caleb is rolling out to his left. And all of a sudden you see the other tight end, Cole Kmet, leave from the left tackle position and kind of slip through all the guys. And there he is in the corner of the end zone wide open. And Keyshawn has enough sense to say, whoa, I'm not going to cover this guy that's still messing around the backfield. I better get that guy that's just released and is uncovered. Yeah. So he rolls over there, goes flying through the air. And I asked Keyshawn after the game what he saw on that play that he ended up making the interception to secure the win for Green Bay.
We was in like a zero call, and my guy went behind the backfield, and I was chasing. I saw the tight end free, so I knew he was the only person to get the ball. So I just ran to me through the ball. I just think I kind of got high. It was kind of high. Did I jump high?
Caleb released it. Did you think you had a chance at it?
I thought he was going to overthrow it over me, and then I jumped, and I was like, oh, I can't grab it. And I just grabbed it.
Did you know before the snap that they were going to throw? Was there any kind of tell that?
Nah. I was a man, and my guy went behind the line of scrimmage. I was chasing, and I just saw somebody go free. I just chased him. Wasn't even my man.
Wow. Yeah, that was a great play, Mike. And, What surprised you about the game, Mike? Like either from the Bears or the Packers?
I guess I would have thought that the Bears would have had more success at running the football because, for me, I thought the Packers' run defense did a pretty good job on that. And I'm surprised that Caleb was not able to make some completions earlier in the game, or that, Jeff Hafley had Ben Johnson's offensive tricks figured out, because this Ben Johnson he's a sharp coach. Look how much, production he's gotten and turning around the Bears and had him in first place, heading into yesterday's game. So then, it's old Bears and Packers, and the Bears have got a rookie receiver by the name of Luther. I covered this kid down in at the Combine, Luther Burden, because there's a radio network in Missouri that they call me and say, hey, if you're going to the NFL Combine, they got all these kids. We got a kid from Missouri, named Luther Burden. We think he's going to go high in the – could you get an interview with him at Combine? Sure, which I did. And he's not an outgoing guy. He's not like a high-energy guy. He's more kind of a low, competitive guy like this, like, oh, man, tough dude.
Yeah.
Very built, wide receiver. So the Bears picked him in the second round. So he's out there running around, running some passes, blocking, hitting. And then after, a play, there's kind of an excursion. And the next thing you know is you see Keyshawn Nixon walking up to him. And this rookie, grabs Nixon by the throat. And so Keyshawn makes a swim move with his arm like, hey, get your arm off my throat. Well, that's all that the referee saw because the referee was coming up from the back. And he threw a 15-yard unnecessary roughness flag on Nixon, and to which LaFleur is, going nuts and yelling at Nixon when he gets off, like, why did you take the bait? So I asked Keyshawn, were you surprised that you were the one penalized after it was the Bears, Burden, this rookie, grabbed him by the throat?
Who? I don't look like getting choked out. I ain't never got choked out. But
what happened? Because it seemed like you were just retaliating.
I mean, I had him, and then I let him go, and they let him come back around and try to, It's a division game. It's going to always be like that. We want that smoke. We'll see him again in 2 weeks. That ain't changing.
Were you surprised that you got a penalty?
No.
It's always the second guy that gets caught, right, Mike?
That's exactly what happened. And he didn't want to, get into it. It's like, hey, it's passed. And in the meantime, LaFleur gave him a game ball. But, he was upset, after the game at the post-game press conference that, Nixon got baited from this rookie Burden when he grabbed him by the throat.
That's the voice of Mike Clemens, our civic media sports guru, does a great job covering all sports, specifically the Bears and the Packers, which happened yesterday. We're breaking down the game here with Mike. Mike, what did you think of the lightning fast handshake between the coaches at the end of the game? LaFleur seemed like he wanted no part of Ben Johnson. I don't know what Johnson would have said to him, but, they have a history thanks to Ben Johnson's introductory press conference that we talked about on Friday. That was a pretty fast handshake.
I think it was intentional.
Yeah, me too. I mean, what are you supposed to do, right, if you're LaFleur?
Well, for people that don't know what we're talking about, the game is over. It ends on this, thrilling play, and, the Packers take a kneel down. And so Matt goes running across the field. He locates Ben Johnson, the head coach, and they almost slapped hands. I mean, he just, hi, how you doing? And then he ran away. It's not like he stopped and put his arm on his shoulder and, hey, good game and all that kind of stuff. Is it, hey, and I believe LaFleur said, all I just was, hey, see you in 2 weeks, which they will.
Right.
In 2 weeks they'll be down in Chicago playing the Bears again. But then Matt ran over to the tunnel before he went into the locker room. He jumped up a couple times like a cheerleader, getting the crowd all revved up. So that was pretty funny. There's we also got to, hear from Caleb Williams on what happened on that pass intended to Cole Kmet, what he saw on that play that got intercepted by Keyshawn Nixon, if you have that one, Conrad.
We had about 2 or 3 guys in front of, either stacking Swift or right there with Swift. And so, rolled out and saw Cole and tried to give him a big boy ball, try and let him go up for it because I ended up seeing 25 starting to sprint. And so tried to slow him up and, kind of give him a chance in those moments. It's, got to have it moment. And they had a guy trailing me, and so didn't feel that I could go get it myself. And so Just got to give Cole a better shot at it. I think, next time just extend him a little bit more and kind of lead him, but in those moments you want to put the ball in play and trust your guy, or, try to have your guy go make a play, and just got to give him a better ball.
Well said. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. Nixon made a great play. And Williams, just a couple weeks earlier, completed that same pass to Cole Kmet, Mike. I can't remember what game it was, successfully. So it really was just Nixon making a great play.
Yeah, and I asked LaFleur this afternoon about the play now that he had time to watch the film. And I said, so am I right that Keyshawn Nixon was following DJ Moore, but then when he realized no one was covering Cole Kmet in the end zone, he broke off from that assignment, ran over there, went flying through the air, and somehow picked that pass off for an interception and prevented the Bears from scoring a touchdown and tying the game. And I also said, and who's supposed to be covering Cole Kmet, when he releases from the line? And then one of the other reporters, I knew this. I was going to see if LaFleur was going to admit it. He didn't say it. But Evan Williams admitted to the other reporters, it was me. I was, I was busy looking at the stuff they had going on in the short, area, the flats, as they call it, by the sideline. That was my guy. I should have followed him into the end zone. So, and LaFleur said it wasn't that unique a play. It's just, they, like you say, they've executed that play before, and it's worked for from the past. The other thing I think was interesting, maybe for the Bears fan standpoint, is, so, how did the Bears take this? Well, the fact is they've won 9 of the last 10 games. They're the Cinderella team of the NFL, like we talked about the other night. And so Cole Kmet, who was intended for that pass, was asked, how do you feel about losing this game to the Packers tonight in Green Bay?
We're a good football team, man, and I think that's a really good football team. Look, it wasn't our best first half of football, but I thought we responded really well coming back. Caleb made some really amazing throws on the run, and definitely some good stuff there. Obviously, it sucks with the result, but we'll regroup, get back to it, and look for a win here this upcoming week.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of my friends, Mike, are saying that they have no doubt Johnson would have gone for 2 if it had gotten to that point. I have to say, though, for a guy who is probably a Coach of the Year candidate, I did not like that last drive as a fan. They were kind of running the ball successfully, and a lot of time ticked off that clock.
Yeah, that's a good point, because they had some timeouts there at the end of the game, and time on the clock. So why were they kind of in a hurry to take those shots? But, they were on a roll, because the last couple of plays before that, Caleb Williams was on the run, being chased around, but he made some spectacular completions in order to get to that, 16-yard line play. So, and, just before that was a weird thing. The Bears were set up to run a play, and then all of a sudden LaFleur called a timeout. And today we asked him about that. Like, he said, I was going to call a timeout anyway, just to try and get them a little bit out of their rhythm or see what their lineup was. But the other thing is that the Packers had made a substitution. They had 12 men on the field. So LaFleur called a timeout to avoid getting 12 men on the field. Otherwise, it would have been a first down for him. So, LaFleur won that battle in terms of game management, avoiding his team getting penalized for 12 men on the field. But that might have gotten the Bears a little bit out of rhythm, and also might have let the Packers defense set up a little bit for that 4th and 1 play.
That's great stuff, Mike. We're going to do a very short break. We'll have a couple more minutes with Mike, then he's got to get back to work. But I'm going to ask Mike when we come back what he thinks we can look for in the second matchup, which is just 2 weeks away. A great game yesterday. Mike Clemens is here. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. I'll also ask Mike his favorite football movie when we come back. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Next biggest thing was his Super Bowl II championship ring, although considerably less, $84,972, a total of over $400,000 for this entire collection of items from Forrest Gregg. So, yeah, man, I'm not quite ready at the point where I can be buying Super Bowl rings.
It doesn't matter if you've been naughty or nice. You won't want to miss the Christmas concert of the year for kids from 1 to 92, presented by Johnson Controls of Marinette and the Independence Day Hotel in Marinette. Coming to the Community Rec Center in Marinette on Saturday, December 13th, this holiday show features Steve March Torme, son of jazz icon and writer of the holiday hit, the Christmas song Mel Torme, Michael Bailey from the Vic Ferrari Band, and their incredible 13-piece band, Steve. You'll be treated to Christmas favorites like I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Carol of the Bells, Little Drummer Boy, and many more. Make it a memorable weekend getaway and book your room at the Independence Day Hotel and get your tickets for free. You can't beat a weekend like that. Free tickets to the Christmas concert for kids from 1 to 92 when you book your room at the Independence Day of Marinette. For more information, go to fishonmarinette.com.
Santa brings toys to all the boys and girls and their furry friends too. With grooming services and a new expanded dog wash, Pet Supplies Plus in Swamco's Urban Edge Town Center has stocking stuffers and gift cards to bring holiday cheer to every member of the family.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
WGBW. Happy, 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 happy holidays.
You know, officials, I don't think that their jobs are easy by any stretch. I think it is a difficult job, but I guess I don't know what holding is anymore because I thought that was pretty clear and obvious hold, but I guess I don't know what that means.
That was Packer coach Matt LaFleur, compliments of Mike Clemens. Hey, real quick, folks, it's Civic Media's grown-up gift list, multi-state text-to-win contest. I gave you the keyword. Here's a reminder. You have to text this in on the app. This hour's keyword is text, T-E-X-T, T-E-X-T. Text it in on the app and you can win $200 or 3 grand prizes. You'll automatically be enrolled: a brand new snowblower, a stainless steel cookware set, or a portable air conditioner. And go ahead, Con.
And don't forget to click the link and you can get extra entries as well if you just follow the Civic Media Today and our podcast on Apple Music or Spotify.
You have more chances to win. Text, T-E-X-T is the keyword. Good luck, everybody. We got a couple more minutes with our pal Mike Clemens here, talking Bears-Packers. A great game yesterday. Mike, what can we expect in a couple weeks, you think? A similar game? They'll be in Chicago this time. Both coaches, I'm sure, have had a look at each other now. What do you think we can expect?
Well, now the Bears are in second place. The Packers are back in first place in the division, but the Packers have got a tough assignment on Sunday afternoon, 3:25 kick against the Denver Broncos, who currently are the number 1 seed.
They're tough.
Over in the AFC. They've got 11 wins, whereas the Bears are going to play the Cleveland Browns, one of the struggling teams in the league. And then the Packers and Bears will re-meet at Soldier Field the following Saturday night for a 7:25 kick. Now, one of the things that was happening in this game yesterday, and you heard Matt LaFleur referring to it, was Micah Parsons, the pass rusher for the Packers, the difference maker, wearing the number 1 jersey that the Packers made that huge trade for at the start of the season with the Dallas Cowboys. as weeks go on, these offensive linemen that just can't keep them off their quarterback or out of their backfield. There's a couple times where they were just holding him. There was one play where Mike is coming off on the right tackle, and the right tackle's like practically got him in a fireman's carry, like his arm wrapped around his neck as he's trying to get around him to get to the quarterback. They took a still shot of it from the ground, from the stadium cameras, and they put that up on the scoreboard, and people were screaming. And so Micah Parsons was asked after the game, are you getting used to the fact that they're just never going to call holding on these offensive linemen trying to block you?
Yeah, I'm immune. I just got to keep fighting through. I mean, that's been the definition of my career, is always fighting through whatever. I'm a smaller guy, and I think they realized that, and I got advantage on the defensive side, and I play with a great leverage, and I'm able to get under people's arms. But at no point, I think the rule book is they got to be in the chest area, and I'm just not getting grabbed in the chest area. But like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. I just got to keep fighting through.
Boy, he's had some great quotes this past week, hasn't he, Mike?
He's had great quotes since that's the way he is. He's well read. He knows he knows everything from Ali to Kobe in terms of competitor and thought. He's quite the leader that way. He's very detailed. He's very smart. He's really quick that way. I mean, he reminds me of I think he's destined to be one of the greats. And so then Micah was asked, the Bears' offensive game plan has been like what you've seen the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's like keep your quarterback on the move to get away from him, run the ball a lot, don't pass it so much, don't have your quarterback stand back there, like a dead duck just waiting for it. And we asked Micah, did the Bears' offensive plan was it aimed at him on defense?
We definitely had their attention and respect. I mean, you go watch any of their games, they never played a football game like that. I mean, the run game, of course, but I mean, max protection. I mean, a guy they drafted, Darnell Wright. I mean, I expected a more of a drop back game, but no drop back. A lot of boots, a lot of sifts, and just really trying to get the ball out of his hands as much as possible. So I think we earned a lot of respect schematically, but we just got to adjust for the next time we see them, understanding how they're going to play us.
I don't think anybody would argue with that. That's great stuff, Mike. Hey, this is always fun, buddy, when you come on here. I look forward to the next matchup between these two teams when they play for the 212th time. Outstanding. Do you have a favorite football movie, Mike?
Yeah, when I look at football movies, I can't help but look for realism.
Yeah.
Because football is really hard to capture. Yeah. And Warren Beatty's Heaven Can Wait, that's got some moments. Oliver Stone had one called On Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino playing a head coach. It got a little kind of corny.
Yeah.
There's a movie called North Dallas 40 from the 70s with Nick Nolte and Mac Davis. That's pretty close to the real thing. But Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds and some former players in there. Nitschke's in there. But you know what's really got the most authentic looking scenes from that era is Brian's song.
Oh,
with James Caan as Brian Piccolo, who passed away from cancer, and Billy D. Williams playing the great Gale Sayers. The Chicago Bears in the late '60s. They did it, at the Bears training camp. There's a lot of actual Bears players that are in the scenes, and it takes you right back to the way it really was in training camp in, say, 1966, 67.
That's great stuff. You just gave us like 4 movies to check out, Mike, and they're all good. Thank you so much, buddy. Keep bringing the truth to the people. It's great to talk to you as always.
Thank you, boys. Have a good night.
All right, you too. That's Mike Clemens. Check out his work. Follow him on Twitter, Mike Clemens NFL. He does great work there, and here at Civic Media as well. Going back to the text line, some of your text. Alan Whitebird says the program. Have you seen that, Con? I've never seen that.
I have not.
No, I have to check that out. Boris Hamilton, who is on the show later this week. Very funny. Boris Hamilton says Rudy. Another vote for Rudy. Civic Media's own Tony Zimmerman says The Replacements. There you go, Con.
That's a great one.
That's one of your faves. Civic Media, our fellow Civic Media colleague. Also, Jenny Brand agrees, says such a solid choice, Tony Zimmerman. Jason Jerry says Necessary Roughness, starring Kathy Ireland as the kicker. I forgot about them. Was that an HBO show?
I
think that was a movie.
Thinking about it, it'd probably be like a Disney one.
Yeah. If Kathy Ireland's the kicker, yeah, maybe. And then Eric Pratt says The Blind Side. George Chemmers, remember the Titans. Totally agree, George. Richard Vargas says MASH. There's some football in MASH. That's a good one. Our pal Mike Schmidt, the hilarious Mike Schmidt, says, agree on Rudy and original longest yard. I'll throw in North Dallas 40. Brian Sung having to wait. He just mirrored. He said exactly what Mike said. Hey, we're coming right back for hour number 2. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite.
Wish you would lie to love.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Supreme Court now weighing arguments in a case that could expand the powers of the Oval Office. At issue, President Trump's firing earlier this year of Rebecca Slaughter, a Democrat appointed to the Federal Trade Commission in 2018. ABC's Devin Dwyer says historically, the president could not fire anyone from independent agencies without just cause.
They were designed by Congress, meant to be free from White House supervision, but the conservative majority today seemed very uncomfortable with that as a separation of powers matter. And even though the Supreme Court universally, unanimously, 90 years ago, upheld those protections in that system, seems all but certain now to do away with it.
Tsunami warnings have been downgraded following a powerful earthquake in northern Japan today. At least 13 people injured. Officials are still assessing the damage, including dozens of power outages. Tonight's Powerball jackpot up to $875 million after weeks of no one hitting all numbers to win the grand prize. This is ABC News. A surge of flu cases is causing alarm across London. The new strain of a virus that also impacted Japan and China developed after the dominant flu shot was released for this season. Cases are also on the rise in the U.S. and in New York City. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton is also an ER physician in New York and says medical facilities are ramping up.
What we're doing here is preparing for the worst, essentially. In the emergency room, we're stocking up on supplies, testing, protective equipment, making sure that we have surge plans in place, paying attention to bed capacity.
Health experts still urging people, especially children and older adults, to get the flu shot to reduce the severity of the virus. Police in Port St. Lucie say they are still investigating the death of a 6-year-old girl this past weekend at a Florida theme park. Authorities say they responded to a medical run at Urban Air Trampoline and Adventure Park. The cause of death is unknown. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy with flurries and snow showers tonight. Temps steady close to 20, a couple inches possible. Winter storm warning for Tuesday and Tuesday night. Snow showers heavy at times, 4 to 8 inches possible, and a gusty breeze to near 30 miles an hour. Colder for the rest of the week.
Right now it's 22.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who always reads between the lines until he sees a car coming, Pete Schwaba.
All right. Welcome back, folks. This is Nite Lite, and we are kicking off Act 2 here on a beautiful, supposed to be snowy night as we move on here in northeast Wisconsin. Be careful out there if you're driving late. Con, what does your app say about Madison, Milwaukee tomorrow?
I usually don't look at Madison or Milwaukee. Probably should.
We are on statewide, my friend. That is inexcusable. We will see what we can find out for all of you folks listening in Madison and Milwaukee. But there is going to be some weather here in northeast Wisconsin. It is great to have you with me, folks. I am Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. Conrad Krieger working the board. We just had a great talk with Mike Clemens. So much fun talking to Mike about the Bears and the Packers. Man, does that guy know his stuff.
Yeah, it was, even if you didn't watch the game, you pretty much just watched the game right there.
Exactly. And, Mike was here Friday, and we kept him for like an hour. He ended up sticking with us through Bar Band Friday night. And then I forgot about this. He stuck around for like another 45 minutes, and we were just kind of shooting the breeze back here after the show was over, which I'm sure thrilled you because I still had work to do, so you could get out of here. But Mike and I were hanging like a couple of pals. It was fun. Speaking of sports, you had a great prediction, Conrad. Tell the fine listeners what your prediction was.
Well, if for those of you who don't know what my favorite sport is, it's basketball. And I pay a lot of attention to Badger basketball. And, I make the call, this great show that we do with Jimmy Kuska, Parker Olson, and Greg Gunnarsson. I'm part of it, part of the roundtable. And we talk at 7, 8. Well, we do a pre-record, but it's 7 a.m. with top 7 sports stories of the week.
Yeah.
And this week, obviously, Marquette faced Wisconsin, in-state rivalry, and I had a prediction, and let's just say it was pretty good.
Pretty spot
I
on.
am super hype. I can't wait to see John Blackwell and Nick Boyd put up, maybe 20 and 30 on the Marquette Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagles aren't that good this year. They're 5-4, and they've lost to not that great teams, but won against like terrible teams. So I'm thinking we're gonna win by 20 points. I'm putting it there.
Ooh, I like it.
Tell us the final score.
It was 96-76.
Can it really, well done, tip of the hat, but can that really be, it is a rivalry.
Yes.
But when you don't hate the other team, it's not like Bears, Packers, Cubs, Brewers. It's like, my parents went to Marquette. They met there. My brothers and my son went to UW-Madison. I love Like, I would cheer for both of those teams.
It's
like a happy rivalry, and those are no fun.
I do know some people that, did get really into it.
Yeah.
And they hate the Badgers because they're Marquette fans. because they're from Milwaukee or something, and it's like they always want to see Marquette win against them. But it's like Wisconsin just always plays better those days. So
Right.
I feel like the guys do feel it though, like during those games.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, who am I to? I still have all 4 years of eligibility left on both.
You going to
both
play
schools,
Marquette?
So, yeah, exactly. Hey, we got some fun. Sydney Politics on the stream was at the Godfather of Green Bay screening last Thursday night at the Atwood Music Hall. Again, for all of you that came out and celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Godfather of Green Bay, I was thrilled to meet some of you. It was fun to show the movie again. And Sydney shared a photo of he and his girlfriend. Her name escaped me, but the three of us looking up at, if somebody took the picture, I think it might have been Zommers, because it looked like it was coming down from like 20 feet, and he's a very tall individual. So it was fun, though. Thank you very much, Sydney, for sharing the photo. And he says, remember the Titans. Easy, hands down. Our pal Terry Barr, watching and or listening on the stream, says, any given Sunday. Now, Conrad, I think we need to remind the people what our question of the night is. Let's roll it, buddy.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta. Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question. Questions.
What is your favorite football movie? We are in the throes of football season, approaching the playoffs. A Bear-Packer game yesterday in a rivalry that was discussed in my film, The Godfather of Green Bay, which we showed last Thursday night. So what is your favorite football film? I say All the Right Moves, and with a close second, Remember the Titans. But Mike listed like 4 really good movies, all about football. I also loved Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty and Julie Christie and Charles Grodin, who's hilarious in it. So I added a third. We've got some great responses, and Conrad said The Longest Yard, both of them.
Yeah, both versions.
Okay.
I didn't find the Burt Reynolds one until later, because obviously when I was young, just Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite actors, but that Burt Reynolds one was great too.
Yeah, it was really good. Rita from the 608 says, No Packers, No Life is the best.
There we go.
That is another fun Packer movie made by our pal Craig.
Craig Benzine.
Craig Benzine. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Craig was at the Godfather Green Bay screening, too. It was great to see him out there. Thank you, Craig, and congrats again on making a great movie, as Rita will attest to. Also, Christine in the 414 says Invincible from 2006 about Vince Papali and the Philadelphia Eagles. Vince, I think, is that a typo or is that the name? I remember that movie. I think Mark Wahlberg was my least favorite actor ever, played a guy who doesn't need to make another movie. We've seen it all, Mark. Stop. But thank you, Christine. Appreciate that. Stacy says Wildcats. Stacy's in the 608. Yeah, Woody and Goldie, I think, were in that. 1986. I remember I was in Chicago. They filmed that at Lane Tech High School, and that is worth a rewatch. I have to go back and check that out. Tom from Monona in the 608 says The Longest Yard. Great choice. Tom, we've heard a lot of Longest Yard options tonight. And then Matt from Middleton in the 608. Actually, he's in the 512, which makes no sense, but we'll go with it anyway. He says, what happened to Netflix showing their movies in the theater? Thought they considered that a while back. I would say Death Race 2000 or Alita Battle Angel, as they have sports in them, if they count. Sure they count, Matt. There's no right or wrong answer. And Netflix does show a movie in the theater, even though they seem to hate theaters, just to be Oscar eligible.
And what
They
they're
do
doing
make
that,
some good movies.
They're doing it with Stranger Things, right? The finale episode.
And
that's like 2.5 hours long.
And this movie Train Dreams, which is on Netflix right now too, which is supposed to be great. I have to check that out as well. Okay, so we've got a lot of fun. Bob Dennis will be here at 6:35 talking about mob ties to Wisconsin, which should be fun. And then we've got Bridget Zilke from the Wade House, one of the great Wisconsin historical sites. She's going to be here to talk about a great event they have coming up. You're here on a great night, folks. And turning our attention now, I love when Wisconsin filmmakers join the show. This next gentleman is, we've never had him on before, but he's got a great movie coming out called Baristas versus Billionaires. And it's going to be at the Barrymore this week for 2 nights. And the filmmaker has agreed graciously to join us here tonight to talk about this, what sounds like just a phenomenal film, Mr. Glenn Silber. Hey, Glenn, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for making this work short notice. It's great to have you here. And I love having guests on the show that I've never met, but I realize when I do my research that I've seen your work before. You've had this prolific career making documentaries and TV specials and all kinds of work, and I applaud you because your resume is incredible. You're also a University of Wisconsin grad. That's not lost on our audiences here, so congratulations on that.
Barely grad.
Oh, I like you even more now. I was a solid C student, so I can kind of relate to that last statement you made there, Glenn. So you're a very accomplished documentarian, but do you have a favorite football movie? I have to ask you that first.
You know, I did. I was trying to think of it. I was desperately trying to think of it. It was one that's probably from the late 60s or 70s, and I was racking my brain, and I just can't remember it. It's one where it was based on a biography of a Dallas Cowboy lineman, I think. And it's a great movie where they are just having a bitter rivalry, and at the end they go to win the game, and the field goal kicker clunks it off the upright. And I'll have to get back to you on the title. I just couldn't remember it. It's a great film based on a biography of, I'm pretty sure, a Dallas Cowboy real pro.
Are you thinking of North Dallas 40?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a great movie. It was one of the first movies I saw on HBO when I was like in 6th grade or something, and I couldn't believe I was watching.
Well, I can't remember much of anything anymore, so thank you for finding that and resurrecting. You'll save me some sleep tonight.
Well, I'm glad. Happy to help any way I can. This is really fun. You're an Oscar-nominated, Emmy-nominated filmmaker. Your work has won WGA awards and all kinds of great stuff. You've got Baristas versus Billionaires at the Barrymore this week. Tell us about this really cool-sounding documentary and where you got the idea.
Well, let me start by saying this is the first film in a 50-year career that I was not the director. I was called by the director, who's a friend of mine, named Mark Morai, and he'd been working on it for 2 years, and he was really in a bad way because he just couldn't see the movie anymore. He had a very long rough cut, and he asked me to look at it, and one thing led to another, and I wound up spending the last 8 months working on it with him to get it into shape. And it's really, I mean, we took out 20 minutes of a kind of a long rough cut, added material, rewrote everything. And I'm pretty good at, doctoring documentaries. And I signed on to it because after we got rid of the first 12 minutes, you could really see a film starting to emerge with these great young characters. And the film is really, Baristas versus Billionaires tells the story of the inside story of the Starbucks Workers United Union, which started 4 years ago in Buffalo, New York, a town the same size as Madison, pretty much. And it was really just a small, young group of kids who were pissed off at how they were being treated. It wasn't just about pay. It was really about, their practices of speeding them up and not having enough staff and not treating them with much respect. And they formed the very first Starbucks union store ever in Buffalo, New York. And they won the elections, and it caught fire. And within the next couple of years, they were signing up 5 stores a week, all winning their own elections. And what's so amazing about it, by the time it started traveling all over the country, there's a quote I love from the store in Memphis where they went and won an election. And the organizer there, who was like a 22-year-old young woman, says, I would call it a millennial and Gen Z uprising for the workplace. She started out earlier in that quote saying, I didn't think I could I didn't think I could be in a union. I'm like a fast food worker. And that really says a lot too. And so these people all over the country now, they won elections in over 600 stores in the last 4 years, 12,000 workers who are now union workers in Starbucks, taking on a massive brand who is not the store we used to think about it 40 years ago. So when I saw those young people in the rough cut, I was sold. I was just charmed by them.
What do you say to people, like, when you have a film like this? There's a sentiment out there I've noticed on social media where there are people that don't think they deserve benefits. And so many people defend billionaires who could easily afford to take care of people. But do we have a masochistic outlook in our society or something? Think about that. We're going to do a very quick break, Glenn, and then let's come back and address that question. Glenn Silber is here. He is one of the producers of the film Baristas versus Billionaires. It's playing Wednesday and Thursday night in Madison at the Barrymore. It just looks like a fantastic film. We're going to come back and have a few more minutes with Glenn before we let him go. Bob Dennis is here at 6:35. It is great to have you, folks. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You pick up little dynamite, I'm gonna pick up little gun. Everyone out tonight, make that highway run. You don't have to call me lieutenant, I don't wanna be your son. Only lover I'm ever gonna need, your soft, sweet little girl's tongue.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Are you ever questioning when life will slow down? Are you ever thinking of just relaxing and enjoying the simple things? All of this is possible, even while still being in the workforce. Worthington, Minnesota is a town growing, yet it's nothing like metro life. Professional and labor jobs, a beautiful lake, bike trails, recreation, acres of public hunting, festivals, and great people. Slow down. We're just a short drive away, so come join us. Worthington, it's worth a look.
If you're looking to make connections in the business world, this is the opportunity for you. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411, here to let you know that there's a business card exchange at Badger Sports Park on Thursday, December 11th from 9 till 10:30 a.m. You'll meet new people, broaden your network, and share your personal brand. Plus, you're going to have an opportunity to introduce yourself and your business. But you need to register now. Head to WGBW.FM and click events.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by US Aging.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
Pete Schwaba, this is Nite Lite. Great to have you with me, folks. Lots of show still to come. Bob Dennis, our Northeast Wisconsin mob expert, will be here in just a few minutes. And then in the 7 o'clock hour, we've got, we're going to talk a little bit about the Wade House, one of the many great Wisconsin Historical Society campuses, if you will, with Bridget Zilke. She'll be here shortly. Right now, we have a few more minutes with our current guest, the very accomplished documentarian Glenn Silber, who is a Wisconsin native. Glenn, are you? Do you not live in Wisconsin anymore?
No, I live in. I was here for 12 years, starting in as a student, and I then wound up doing some work for the corporate world in terms of making a living for a while. That was interesting for CBS News and ABC News, and now I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is
nice.
Delightful. Very nice.
Yeah, wonderful place. You've got, so I was asking you before why there is a certain segment of society that apologizes for billionaires. and they think other people don't deserve stuff. Is that a mentality you've come across?
No, that's a new one on me. I don't know many people that apologize for billionaires, and I don't see why you would.
They could be bots.
The whole we're living in a billionaire economy now, and the billionaire economy is not interested in their workers; they're interested in their share price. And I don't have a lot of sympathy for that, because I think one of the things that's driving this strike that this union is having now against Starbucks is the fact that, there was a survey done a couple of years ago, maybe more like a year ago, of the top 500 companies in America. And they were rating it, the employees were rating it for burnout, exhaustion, and depression. And out of 500 companies, Starbucks was rated in the top 5 worst for that.
Wow.
And it's that kind of lack of respect for workers. Right now, Pete, I think that the working class and low-wage workers are under assault by that billionaire class you're talking about. And it's so stupid, because for very little money, they could treat their workers so much better. And there's some kind of a mentality. I have zero sympathy for billionaires, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping that if you see the film, you'll see why these workers are now on strike in 85 cities across the country. And I think you'll see why the mayor-elect of New York and Bernie Sanders was on their picket line last week and made a lot of news. And I think we're really at a turning point where what's so inspiring to me is seeing these young people. One of the heroes of the film is 19 years old when she confronts Howard Schultz, who comes into town for a special meeting to try to crush the union. And she pretty much crushes him. And it's just amazing to see. I don't think I would have signed on to the movie if it wasn't for the fact that the young people organizers, at least in Buffalo, are really the ones who get it together.
That's great. Wow. You've done some great stuff, Glenn. The War at Home, the Matthew Shepard story. You also were either one of the creators or contributors to this show I remember back from the late 80s called West 57. I think Bob Surratt was the host. How is journalism or news magazines like that? How has that changed?
Well, that was the luckiest break in my life. I had just had my first child, and I had a break when I was back in New York showing him off, and someone offered me to come and interview for West 57th. It was pitched on CBS News as a hip 60 Minutes. And Bob Surratt, who was from Chicago, was kind of a DJ. But we also had Meredith Vieira. Later on, Steve Croft joined. And boy, I really didn't know how good I had it, because I'd been a radical filmmaker up to that point for like 15 years. And I was barely making my rent. And all of a sudden, someone said, well, do you want to go interview at CBS for this new show? Now, you got to imagine, Pete, I hadn't had a TV since I left home as a teenager. And I thought the bubble over my head is, what am I going to do at CBS? Like the windows? And it turned out I was really good at that. And I rode that wave for 20 years in between my documentary careers. And I'm amazed you actually mentioned that show, because I won an Emmy, my first Emmy for the show, was the first Emmy for a show and I was also the only one living in Los Angeles, which was such an advantage. Everyone else was back at the mothership in New York. I did this piece on children of the homeless called Homeless in America, Suffer the Children. It was like a 4-hanky piece, and it just rocked the world at that moment to show the changing nature of being homeless in America.
Wow.
So I was really proud to be on that show.
Yeah, you're also Oscar nominated. You've got a host of awards and did some great work for PBS, 60 Minutes, 2020. Just a phenomenal career. I would love for you to come back sometime, Glenn, and discuss more in detail some of the cool things you've done. But I really appreciate your time tonight. And for those of you listening in the Madison area, check out Baristas versus Billionaires this Wednesday and Thursday night at the Barrymore in Madison. It sounds like a great time, and I hope you have a great turnout.
Well, thank you. And I can just promise, if you come to the show, it may be cold outside, but you leave inspired and feeling really warm inside. It's that kind of movie.
Conrad, does that sound familiar? I just did that. But Glenn, we
had
a screening of a film I did last Thursday, and I think I said the same thing on social media. The Atwood Music Hall will be warm with laughter, but it's freezing outside, so I hope you get
That's where I found that line. I just want to mention also, we're going to have a panel discussion afterwards on stage with several of the baristas who are on strike right now, and I'll be happy to be part of that.
Outstanding.
On both nights.
Knock 'em dead, Glenn. I hope you have a great turnout, and don't be a stranger. Would love to talk to you again sometime.
Anytime you want.
All right, that's Glenn Silber. Check out Baristas versus Billionaires at the Barrymore. A wonderful, awesome location. I've hosted many a Q&A there myself during the Wisconsin Film Festival. A great venue, especially for a film like this. So we've got Bob Dennis coming up next. We're going to talk a little bit of Mob. Did you know the Mob has a connection to Christmas, Conrad?
Really?
Yeah, and Wisconsin.
Oh.
We're going to get into all that when we come back. Terry Ryan from the 414 says Brian's song is her favorite football movie. That's a good one. Wow. Terry Ryan. That's Jerry Ryan I'm thinking of. Thank you, Terry. And then 608 says The Replacements. That's Pamela in Madison, our pal Pamela. Thank you, Pamela. Mike from Moscata in the 608 says Heaven Can Wait. Another vote for Heaven Can Wait. That's a great one. And Terry again says Yinling is a great beer and a great sailboat. Wow, that sounds like a whole different topic. All right, fantastic. We're coming right back after the news with Bob Dennis and some mob talk. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Supreme Court now weighing arguments in a case that could expand the powers of the Oval Office. At issue, President Trump's firing earlier this year of Rebecca Slaughter, a Democrat appointed to the Federal Trade Commission in 2018. ABC's Devin Dwyer says historically the president could not fire anyone from independent agencies without just cause.
They were designed by Congress, meant to be free from White House supervision, but the conservative majority today seemed very uncomfortable with that as a separation of powers matter. And even though the Supreme Court universally, unanimously, 90 years ago, upheld those protections in that system, seems all but certain now to do away with it.
Tsunami warnings have been downgraded following a powerful earthquake in northern Japan today. At least 13 people injured. Officials are still assessing the damage, including dozens of power outages. Tonight's Powerball jackpot up to $875 million after weeks of no one hitting all numbers to win the grand prize. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy with flurries and snow showers tonight. Temps steady close to 20. A couple inches possible. Winter storm warning for Tuesday and Tuesday night. Snow showers heavy at times, 4 to 8 inches possible, and a gusty breeze to near 30 miles an hour. Colder for the rest of the week. Right now it's 22.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Being blind doesn't look how
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me, folks. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. We are broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Green Bay on what is supposed to turn into a snowy night here in northeast Wisconsin. Con, how are we doing with that weather forecast for Madison?
You know, it is going to snow in Madison tomorrow and in Milwaukee, so
really?
I don't expect it as bad as here, though.
Well, they are far south. I love when people around here like people used to do this. When I would go to Chicago, when I lived in Marinette, and I'd meet other students, they'd go, "Oh, you're from Marinette? Oh, you're way up there." It's like, it's not like Chicago's the tropics. It's all cold, bitterly cold here in the Midwest. So we just get used to it.
The strange part about it is that if you watch the weather maps, when systems come in, oftentimes they will go north and south of Green Bay. They'll split. And like Door County and areas north will be just inundated with snow. And the valley will get it. But Green Bay will be like, we'll let them get a pass.
That's how it's been with Marinette lately. We've been like 2 to 3, I say I don't pay attention to weather, but I do, 2 or 3 degrees warmer than Green Bay. And we've missed a lot of the snow that's come south of us, which I don't ever remember it being like that. That is the voice, by the way, of Bob Dennis, who joins me now in the studio. Bob is a very successful podcaster and knows more about the mafia and the mob than most of us have forgotten in a lifetime. I think that's how that
You're putting a hit out on me, aren't you?
I don't have it in me, Bob. There's a lot of people. Listen, I want to take out a ton of people, but you are certainly not one of them. And I hope I'm not one on your list either.
Oh, absolutely not.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. By the way, this is the, I think, 7th time I've been on here with you.
Is that true?
Yes.
Conrad?
Purple jacket, cigar, something.
Yeah, we got to do something. Like, wow, I feel, okay, that's 7th time. I've barely got 7 appearances on this show. So, well, either way, it's good to have you here. Do you have a favorite football movie?
Not really. I mean, I enjoy football movies. I mean, they're fun and whatnot. The hokiest one, of course, is the one about with Ronald Reagan as Newt Rockney.
The Gipper.
Yeah, the Gipper. Go out there and do it. The story wasn't even true the way they put it. It's go out there and score one for the Gipper. Well, go out there and score one of those, things you throw over the end zone there.
That's pretty good, Reagan.
Well,
Yeah, that's a pretty good Reagan. And actually, how you just said that, you're actually a better actor than Reagan. You remember they took a shot at him in the movie Airplane?
Yeah.
The woman's getting sick to her stomach. She's just, oh my God, I haven't felt this awful since I saw that Ronald Reagan movie. He actually wasn't a terrible actor.
Well, he was a good B-string movie kind of guy.
Okay.
Fair. Errol Flynn would always be the number one guy. And Ronald Reagan would always be like best friend or something else.
Yeah.
When he ran for governor, that was the joke. The first time he ran was somebody had made the statement that Ronald Reagan was going to run for governor. They said, no, Errol Flynn for governor, Ronald Reagan for lieutenant governor.
That's great. Well, he ended up doing okay for himself.
Yeah,
This kid from Eureka, Illinois?
Yeah.
I think somewhere
Dixon,
around
actually.
Dixon,
but-
Illinois. Yeah.
Which is just like Eureka, but that's,
Yeah.
it's
not too bad. We've got already, Bob, you've been here 3 minutes, and we've got a stream comment from our pal Terry Barr, who says, "Hey, Bob,
Hey,
his
Terry.
lovely wife was once my boss. Small world. Tell us about your wife, because she just retired after a lengthy career here in Wisconsin, and I still haven't had her on the show yet."
And I think she'll come on. I can talk about her now because she's retired. She
Yeah.
never wanted me to talk about her.
Give us the
while
dirt, man.
She was there's no dirt on her. That's the thing.
That's what I hear, actually.
She has always been dedicated to news. She is the journalist with a capital J.
Yeah.
She was wonderful with writing. She was wonderful with coming up with ideas. She was terrific with management. She kept her newsroom on budget, never with a variance of more than 2%. Try doing that with any budget.
Oh, wow, really?
And hired terrific people who ended up getting jobs, on the networks. Bill Weir from CNN.
Oh,
worked
sure.
for
I
her.
remember Bill Weir.
And a couple other folks as well. And she took it from a station that when it became Fox at that time, everybody went, "Oh, we're not going to work for Fox." And they left. And she had an anchorman and a part-time weather guy, and that was it.
Real. Now, what year are we talking about here?
Oh, that would have been back in the 80s.
Okay, because Rachel Manick is a friend of mine, and she's been on this show, and I love her, and she's had me on their show a couple times. She's been there a long time. I would imagine she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She put together the team and the concept. As a matter of fact, I probably shouldn't say it on the air, but when they decided to do the morning show, Julie was the one who said, "Okay, morning show is boring right now. TV shows are just horrible. We've got to make it fun and interesting." So she said, "Let's do radio with pictures." And so she brought in people to be personalities and to talk. And she had Pete Petoniak become the weather guy on the morning show. And he's
he's been there a long time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He, as a matter of fact, he became a weatherman and then got his certification and his degrees while working tremendously hard at the TV station, working and going to school.
I've
And-
heard he's so good he can predict, he can change the weather. Have you ever heard that?
No, I hadn't heard that, but he is awesome. He's a wonderful man, absolutely wonderful man. So, anyways, she and took it from no ratings at all, zero, bottom of the barrel, and people in the other stations would tease about, "Well, you're just that station, you're never going to go anywhere," and she would tease them and say, "Yeah, I'm just that little Fox station on the wrong side of the river," and now it is like the dominant television station in Northeast Wisconsin. She's very accomplished in everything she's done. She's an Emmy winner. And I'm very, very proud of her. She's worked so very hard.
Yeah.
And she has a reputation that she doesn't even realize because she kept her head down and worked hard.
Just did the
and
work.
Yet she could pick up a phone and call somebody, and they'd be there in a minute. All right, inside story.
Yeah. First of all, give us her full name.
Well, I don't know that she's going to be mad at me just for talking about.
You just said she'd come on the show, but she's
well,
it's.
that's
I have
up
to have her
her,
on with an AKA.
Listen, she's the smarter half of the team. Okay,
Well,
so
I'm not
maybe
gonna argue that with you.
I mean, she did TV, I did radio.
She's smarter than you. You're like one of the most well-read guys I've ever had on this show.
Yeah, but I got
Conrad
nothing else. I got no depth.
All right, fair enough. So tell us your story.
So, anyways, there was a network, and I'm not going to say the name of it, that because everything with the draft was done by was NBC or somebody was the main draft network. One of the other networks is like, I have to have something. I've got to have some kind of presence. And they called her up and said, "What can we do?" And she let them take a couple pictures from a long shot from their field house over on Lombardi. So they had a money shot just to show that they had, some kind of presence there.
Sure.
And by the way, that was also her idea, is to buy one of those houses long before people started.
Over by the stadium?
Yep.
Oh,
If you go over to the front door or the front gate there, where they have the statues in front of the main entrance there, where they've got. Yeah. If you turn and look directly across the street north, there's a yellow house there, and that's the Fox 11 field house.
Oh,
and
really?
she and the man who's the general manager, Jay Zoller, the two of them had such a great relationship working together that they made it happen. Jay was like, "That's a great idea. Let's do this." And kudos to him because, he could have said, "No, we're not doing that."
Right.
And they bought it for whatever they bought it for.
How long ago was that?
Oh, golly, I have no idea off the top of my head. I do know that it's worth probably 3 times what they paid for it.
Oh, I don't know what they paid for it, but those
houses are through the roof.
And for 8 weekends a year.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple playoff games.
Well, and there
That's
are
crazy.
places over there. There's one of the condos over by behind Lambeau on the west side there that was just put up for sale. Again, 8
Yeah.
weekends out of the year.
Wow.
For like a $1.5 million.
Come on.
It's like, yeah.
Conrad, let's go Habs.
I don't know.
You're a
man.
Packer fan. Come on.
You got 95% of it. I got the other 5.
Yeah, right.
Well,
that's pretty cool.
I'd shovel the walkway if you'd let me just stop in.
We'll let you hang out. We'll pal around, Bob. First of all, I want to go on record here and say I'm very proud that I did not make a money shot joke, that I created that phrase, because I'm way too mature for that. He doesn't even know what that means.
I don't.
All right, and Bob might not. I'm on an island here. Am I the only guy with a disgusting mind? Okay.
Yes.
Bob Dennis is here. He is in the studio. Love when Bob's here. We talk mafia. We talk urban legends sometimes. We're talking about the game. Now, what did you do for the game yesterday?
Well, and this is another thing that we need to talk about is that I made my famous 3-bean homemade chili.
Oh.
You may want me to go in and sit with Conrad after a while. Okay? I'm just saying, okay? May not be good for him.
You're going to hotbox him over there in the little...
Let's close the door. How long can you hold your breath, Conrad?
I'll let you know if it gets too bad. So, that's what
we watched it, and this shows us why we are armchair quarterbacks. Because I was sitting there, and Keyshawn Nixon, 2 penalties, 15 yards each, 30 yards, 3 points put up on the board. And I am just livid. I am just absolutely out of my mind. He shouldn't be in there. He shouldn't be playing. Every time they go every time they go on that right side, they're getting yardage. They're making plays, and Nixon's nowhere to be found. And I'm going on and on talking about how bad he is. And my wife, again, the intelligent one, says, "He's back in the game, hon." And I was like, "Oh, that can't be. We're going to lose." If he hadn't been put back in the game, we'd have lost.
Or the Bears would have at least maybe tied it. Maybe
they'd have done something. But
he saved the day though for sure.
Yeah. So
what did you think? Is he a good player, Con, typically?
I think he's just a little hot-headed sometimes, but I think he's fine.
You know what it is? It's discipline.
Yeah.
When you get penalties, I've been involved in a lot of football over the years.
Yeah.
When you get penalties, it's because of discipline. It's not because you're a bad player. It's not because you're not smart. It's because you're not disciplined in what you do. If you do and you hold yourself and you know what you should and shouldn't do or how you can do it and what you can get away with, And then the thing is, once a referee sees you make a mistake or an error and you get a penalty, they're watching you the rest of the game.
Watching like a hawk,
And it's the old story about seeing the second foul. It doesn't matter who did the first one.
Right.
The guy who did the second one is the one who's seen.
I remember it when I played football, like in middle school, and someone would hit me, and I get mad, I want to fight him. No, that's the game, idiot. Like, you're supposed to do that.
Control.
Not doing anything wrong. Yeah.
War without bloodshed is what it is.
Exactly.
Can I do something real quick here?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I would like to do a shout out to some folks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, who are listening to civic media stations.
All right,
at
even better.
WMPX in Madison. And that
MDX,
is, that is Chris and Nancy in there at WAUK in Milwaukee. Mike is listening there. WXCO in Wausau. Tom is listening there. In WFHR, we have Pat and Les, who are actually in Burin, who are listening, and Gretchen, who is aware as well. And then the TAP 93.5 in Eau Claire. Goody is listening in there. Online, our good buddy Daz up in Marinette Menominee.
Daz, sure.
And then our friends Craig Knitt, Dan Wheeler, David Kelso, and all the folks from the 920.
You know all those guys too?
Well, they paid me.
All right, that's all the time we have tonight, Bob. No, that's you're spread out. You know everybody around the state. That's fantastic.
Well, not really.
Well,
it's
that's
you owe money to people, and they know where you are.
You're bringing the listeners, Bob, and I appreciate that. So, well, let's get into. We've got a couple minutes or about a minute or so before we have to do a break. But I love talking mob stuff with you. We've had some great discussions. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the mafia, but I'm fascinated.
Yes, you are.
Well, I'm fascinated.
You never talk to me without bringing up the mafia.
So what do you know, Bob? What's the rumpus? So let's do that. Actually, we'll do a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk with our pal Bob Dennis. He's here in the studio for the 7th time.
You should lock the door.
Is that a record? Conrad, is that a record? Let's go to
I
Google.
think he might be up there because Emerson Lehman's been on the show quite a bit too.
Yeah, that's true. All right, take a memo. We'll do this. We're coming back with Bob Dennis. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Just move yourself and you glide like a 747 and you lose yourself in the sky among the clouds in the heaven cause. Let this groove right up the grooves. It's all right, all right.
The holidays are here, and it's time to pick a present from Civic Media's grown-up gift list with this local station. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $200 cash and be entered to win one of our grand prizes, a snowblower, stainless steel cookware set, or a portable air conditioner. Just download the free Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7 for your chance to win in our multi-state contest.
It's the Eco Minute, powered by Clean Wisconsin, your environmental voice since 1970. I'm Amy Barrio. A new state rules making it easier for people living in apartments to access solar energy. Up until December 1st, Wisconsin required every apartment unit in a building to have its own electric meter. That made it harder and a lot more expensive for developers to build affordable housing with solar. The new rule has done away with that old requirement. It's one of the first rules taking effect after the Evers versus Markline Supreme Court decision, which found it's unconstitutional for administrative rules to be held up indefinitely by a handful of legislators. It's almost time to get your 2026 State Parks Admission Pass, and you'll find a new design created by a Delavan Darien High School student. The DNR holds an Admission Pass student design contest every year. The artist this year featured her beloved black dog retrieving a stick out on the water. For a deep dive into Wisconsin's most pressing environmental issues, check out my Defender podcast at cleanwisconsin.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals, so I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit Wheelchairs.
Pete Schwaba, this is Nite Lite, and my guest at the moment is Mr. Bob Dennis. This is his 7th time here, folks, so he's a keeper. We're talking often, well, we haven't gotten to it yet, but we love to talk mafia. As I said, I'm not a fan, but I am fascinated by the organization, whether we're talking about the Chicago outfit or the New York Five Families or whatever it is. It's always fun to talk mafia with you, Bob, and I'm been looking for a connection to Northeast Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Like just a hitman or not necessarily a capo or a Godfather Mafia Don, but, you know, at some point there had to have been mafia people here, but I can't find any evidence of them.
It's not, okay, a part of the thing with, specifically with mafia, and Okay, I'll just say it.
You said this is a place people come, not a place people come from, but a place people go to,
Correct.
which I thought was interesting and very true.
Yes, it's a place where people who are members of the mob or the mafia or whatever would come to vacation or to get away, to be safe somewhere. And Door County was very popular because you just left from Chicago, stopped off in Milwaukee, gassed up, maybe stopped in Sheboygan, and then headed up to Door County. And there is a couple restaurants up there that are known to have had previous visitors from Chicago.
Yeah, you mentioned the Shipwreck Cafe, or the Shipwreck Pub in Egg Harbor. I love Egg Harbor. That's typically where we go. Tell us about the Shipwrecked Pub.
Well, years ago, it's been in existence since the late 1890s, I believe it was. And over the years, they had mafia people who would stop, specifically like Capone and other people. Yeah. And there were escape tunnels underneath the restaurant. You would go down, and there was this big door, and there were two tunnels you could go out, one of which went sort of north, which was across the street. There was a gas station there for many years, and they would store cars there, so you could get in the cars, and you could leave in a hurry if you had to. The other one, if you went to the west, led to a barn, which also had cars in, and they could take off from there, so they could avoid being captured. Now, those tunnels have since been filled in because of all the work they did on the highway and trying to.
That's sad. They could. That would be a tourist trap. I would think. See the mob
in St.
tunnels.
Paul, they have that. You can take the the tours of the mafia and mob tunnels.
Yeah,
so it's still very popular.
That's so cool. I would love to see those. I know the best. And we'll talk more about Door County too, but the best connection I could find was a place in Pembine called the Four Seasons. Rumor had it was mafia owned. It certainly was not when I ate there about 20 years ago because the service was terrible and we didn't get our meal that they didn't bring us comped. Say what you want about the mob. When I would go into a restaurant like in Chicago or Milwaukee, I knew if it was mob owned because the service was great. And they would come over and it would always be a guy like, I remember we were in this place in Chicago after a funeral and we ordered my parents and me, a good friend's mom had passed away and we ordered drinks. And this guy comes over in a suit and he pours a bunch of oil on the plate and gives us bread. And he goes, "Here you go, folks. That'll help you soak up some of the booze." Like, okay. But the service was always great. And this place in Pembine, it's changed hands many times. But I thought, I don't think this is mob owned.
Well, and there's a place, I sent a note to you. I don't think I have it with me now, just off of Lake Winnebago, Coudray, down in Coudray. There is a restaurant bar down there, which supposedly still has bullet holes in it in the wall from when there was some time of a confrontation with the mafia.
So other than the ship, so the ship, now, is that still there? That must have been mob owned, right? Because nobody's going to do the mob a favor, I would think, and add tunnels unless it was mob owned, or am I wrong?
No. That would have been a legit business, and they would have done, the money and the investment themselves because that was like insurance. I mean, they had nothing but cash. So go up there, build a way to get out. If that was a favorite place, you did that. And they did that with a lot of places in Chicago, in Milwaukee, in Minneapolis and St. Paul, in any of the major cities, in New York. I mean, they're everywhere. And it's just like, okay,
But when you say it was a legit business, you're saying that the people that owned it were legit and not in the mob, and they built the tunnels for the mob?
No. The people who owned the business owned the business.
Right.
And they minded their own business,
Sure.
But when the mafia or the mob would come up there, they'd say, it'd be good if we had a way to get out of this place at night. And they'd check it out, and they would pay for the installation of a door to a tunnel that would lead out of the building. I mean,
Really?
that was not uncommon.
So they go to the legitimate business owners and say, "We'd like to build a tunnel.
We love the food here. We'd like to help you out. We'd like to be here more often. We would like to make a little investment." What are you going to say? No?
I don't know what. Yeah, that's a puzzler because you'd go, "Well, I don't see any harm with that, honey. They want to build tunnels."
Yeah,
what harm
it's
could
kind
come
of fun, in case there's a storm or something. We can go down there,
Right. So, all right. So after the news, we're going to do the news, and I'd like you to stick around if you could, Bob, because we've got I'm going to tell you via Bob something that the mob had their hands in that will remind you. It might shock you because Christmas is right around the corner, but they had their mitts in the Christmas business of sorts, and I'll tell you what that was after we do the news. And we've got Text to Win coming up again next hour, folks. I'll give you the keyword of that. And then, Con, what else do we have? We've got, am I caught up on texts?
We got a couple new ones that came in.
What are we looking at here? We got Terry's. Oh, Terry said, you wouldn't even give me your wife's name, Bob. And here Terry Barr is on the stream, says, I was there when we switched to Fox. It was a terrific challenge led by Julie, the best.
Everybody, you will not find anyone who will say anything bad about her, other than the fact that she expected you to be your best.
Does your wife speak as highly of you as you speak of her?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. Craig on the stream says, Bob, we need to chat about some of the mob hangouts up north. Folks I might have been related to. I knew it. He says, might have run moonshine in the state. Also, Big Lou tells you better shut your yapper. And then Craig says, also Big Lou says he's a fan of The Blind Side with Quentin Aaron. Is that Big Lou? Is that a thing? Or is that Craig's alter ego?
Well, I'm not saying anything anymore. I'm already in trouble.
You'd be well served.
Let's just say the name was Craig Anthony Kinnett. Okay, I'm just saying it.
That's right. Very well done. All right, we're going to come back and tell you what the mob is involved in. We got the text to keyword coming up, and we're talking Wisconsin Historical Society at 7:35. Bob Dennis is here, folks. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Every time that you call.
If it happens in Wisconsin, you'll hear about it on the station with local news and timeless hits. 97.9 FM, WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. In Washington, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has not said publicly today if he will support calls to release the full video of September 2nd U.S. airstrikes on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean that killed its survivors. ABC's Mary Bruce.
Hegseth has said he only watched the first strike live and learned of the other hours later. But over the weekend, the secretary said that after that initial strike, he was told a re-attack was needed because, quote, there were a couple folks who could still be in the fight. He said he responded, Roger. Sounds good.
President Trump threatening new tariffs against Mexico today, accusing the country of violating a water treaty in order to hurt Texas farmers. He says the country still owes the U.S. over 800,000 acre-feet of water for failing to comply over the last 5 years. Now the commander-in-chief is threatening an immediate 5% tariff on the country if 200,000 acre-feet of water isn't released before December 31st. Trump says the country has not responded yet. This is ABC News. Social workers in San Francisco are demanding change after one of their own was killed by a patient last week.
51-year-old social worker Alberto Rangel was on the job at Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital when he was stabbed multiple times by a patient who had a kitchen knife. Rangel is being remembered as a deeply caring person. His colleagues are angry. Juliet Suarez was on duty when Rangel was attacked.
For him to lose his life at work, when he was there to provide services to patients, it's not right.
His colleagues say they've been raising safety concerns for a long time. The alleged attacker is in jail. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A federal judge has approved a settlement paying at least $230 million to hundreds of victims of clergy sexual abuse in the New Orleans Archdiocese. The head of the Archdiocese told reporters he hopes survivors will find some closure. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy with flurries and snow showers tonight. Temps steady close to 20, a couple inches possible. Winter storm warning for Tuesday and Tuesday night. Snow showers heavy at times, 4 to 8 inches possible, and a gusty breeze to near 30 miles an hour. Colder for the rest of the week. Currently 21 degrees.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who appreciates a nice hot meal at a fair price, Pete Schwaba.
That is me, folks. I like a sensible price and a good meal. Welcome back to Nite Lite. This is a Monday edition, and we labored through the weekend to get to Monday so we could talk about all the things in life that make us happy, like movies and TV and comedy and music. A little sports talk tonight following the Bear-Packer game. Oh, man. We got a lot. Conrad, we still have a lot of show left. So I need you to really, you got to dig deep and get through this, man.
I think I got
push-ups, maybe? Okay, what are you benching now?
The same as last time.
Come on. You didn't even add 5. How much does it go up when you bench? Like you were at 275, then you're up to 280 like a couple weeks ago. How often do you add weight?
Well, I stopped trying to bench for max, I've been trying to increase it, but not going to max, you know what I mean?
You mean increase the reps?
Increase the reps, slow down the reps also.
All right.
It helps a lot when you're trying, because I think in February I'm going to go for 3 plates, which is I think 305.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But I got to train to get there,
Here's the one thing I don't like about lifting weights. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Too heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like it one bit.
I had the thing with the 3 plates one time, and they said, listen, all you can eat doesn't mean you keep coming back again and again and again. I'm just saying.
That's my current guest, folks. With a buffet joke, Bob Dennis did not leave that one out on the table. Well done, sir. He is here. We will be back to Bob in just a moment. But right now, we got a recap. And we've had a lot of fun here tonight. Mike Clemens joined us for some Packer Bear talk. We talked to Glenn Silber, whose film plays at the Barrymore this week, called Baristas versus Billionaires. Everything I read about this film it's fantastic, so check it out if you're in the area. We also discussed a new beer coming to Wisconsin, Yingling, which Conrad says is outstanding. It's been around for 200 years. The founder is a billionaire, but you did the Wisconsin thing and said it's not as good as Spotted Cow.
Well,
and I believe you.
Spotted Cow is the best beer ever, but
You know what would make them better? As if they bought advertising on Nite Lite.
That would Nuclearis.
You know what? Take a memo. Once in a while, I have a great idea. I can't believe that just came to me. No, I think
talk to Nuclearis.
I think I wrote them a note when I first went on the air, and I didn't hear a peep back. So, all right. So we have Bob Dennis in studio. Oh, a reminder, Con, get this ready. We got to re-cue this up. We got to remind people of our Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta.
Question. Question. Okay, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
What is your favorite football movie? We are in the heat of football season, folks. College bowl games are right around the corner. The NFL is kicking butt right now. What is your favorite football movie? I said All the Right Moves, followed by Remember the Titans and Heaven Can Wait. Conrad likes both The Longest Yards. Bob, what did you pick again?
Well, there was a short with the Three Stooges where they played.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Where they played football, and they
Well done.
They were just obviously not football players, and they ended up winning the game, and it's crazy, and it's one of those things
That's why they're the Stooges.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was a Gilligan's Island episode? I've told this story, I think, before on this show, but you know, Gilligan's Island, they're trapped on the island, 3-hour tour. And this show was completely out of ideas. At some point, they brought the Harlem Globetrotters to Gilligan's Island, and they ended up playing a basketball game on the island. So I'm doing stand-up at the time. I'm staying with a friend of mine in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and his wife. I stayed with them instead of the hotel so we could catch up. He's a high school buddy. And it's like Saturday morning. We just woke up, probably a little hungover, and we're watching this Gilligan's Island episode. And somehow they end up playing this basketball. You've got the Harlem Globetrotters, robots, Bob, and they're playing basketball. And Gilligan goes into the game when someone gets injured. And my friend, and I swear to God, this is what he actually said. He goes, "Oh, yeah, like Gilligan's going to play." Wait, that's the part he had an issue with in this? Is like, it was like the craziest thing I've ever heard, but it was very funny. So we've also got text to win, folks. That's coming up. I'm going to give you the keyword at the end of this segment. We have a new keyword this hour, and it's our Civic Media grown-up gift list, multi-state text to win contest. Details coming up very shortly. We've got some more time here with I think this should count as your 8th visit, Bob. Bob Dennis is here, our mafia expert, because, you know, we did the news. Sometimes I only keep people for 2 segments. So this is kind of like a new thing. Yeah.
Well, I see it as a, per entry kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't get a pay bump or anything. There's nothing that's exciting about it. I'm just telling you. So, all right, before the news, we talked about when you came in, and you kind of teased this before. You talked about a connection between the mob and Christmas. And I'm like, well, what would that be? And you told me, and I was fascinated by that. So please share with the listeners.
Well, I refer to it as wise guys as nice guys.
Yeah.
They during the holidays, especially from before Thanksgiving all the way through to New Year's, the different mob and mafia members would go out and they would hand out food and money and toys and gifts.
Yeah.
And they would do all kinds of wonderful things during that segment of time. But, nobody ever stopped to think that all the money that they had made was off the same poor people that they were giving this stuff back to. They were giving, all this back to people who were, they were buying numbers, or they were buying illicit liquor or gambling, or, any number of things. And they just decided that it'd be good business to give it back. And Capone was one of the biggest.
Yeah.
People used to say he was wonderful. He was a king. He was a fantastic guy. And people would say, yeah, but if you cross him, it's over with.
You might get a little upset.
Yeah.
But I think
you get a little bit dead.
It's funny that they do that. Like, we're going to take all your money, we're going to shake down your business, and here's a turkey at the end of the year. Like, people don't realize they've been conned, and not that they're going to do anything about it anyway.
It's not dissimilar to government. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So you also said a con. By the way, what were? Am I missing something?
Oh, I just sent you a chat.
I know, but. Because you thought it was funny?
I did think it was a funny text.
All right, I just want to make sure I understood it right.
Yeah,
you sent me a text from Rick in the 920 who said Bend It Like Beckham, his favorite football movie. And that's very well done, Rick. Thank you. I just want to make sure I was reading the right thing.
Yeah, no, it was a great text.
Conrad and I have like 18 different chat methods here. So when he goes like this, I'm like, oh, God, I got to check 18,000 things here. But that was good. Thank you for the share, Con. So another thing you told me about the mob and their connection to Christmas was a cash business, which, as we know, the mob loves cash businesses. And it involved trees. Please tell us.
Christmas trees.
Yeah.
It was one of their biggest generators of income, because in New York specifically, today, right now, a lot in New York will have somewhere around $400,000 in inventory that they have paid for. All right, well, they're going to turn around and take that inventory, and they're going to double and triple the price of the trees, depending on the tree, of course. And that's going to just generate that much more income. And they go around and they put the muscle on people and say, hey, you got to give us our cut. And there actually was different mob families that invested in the different Christmas tree farms so that they would control from end to end and control not only the price and everything else. And it's kind of strange, but it still happens today. There are 5 major tree dealers in New York. And how many families are there? How many families?
Interesting.
How many families are there in New York?
There's 5. To my knowledge, that's what people tell me.
Now they say there's 6 because they're including Canada. But
I've never been in the mob. I tried to join, but they wanted no part of me. There wasn't room in the mob for a guy who pretty much wasn't good with numbers, couldn't kill anybody, and I tried to fit in. So I think I told you this before when you were here. It's one of my favorite connections to the mob. Bob Dennis is my guest. He is our mob expert, and he is from Northeast Wisconsin, but he knows a lot about this stuff, and we love talking to Bob about it. The Comedy Cafe in Milwaukee, a club I used to work at, was one of my favorite clubs in the country. They used to put us up in a condo that was like kitty corner. There was the Comedy Cafe. Then right at the corner of Van Buren and Brady Street was a restaurant called Giovanni's. Now, this could be urban legend, another area of your expertise, or maybe it was real. I don't know, but they said that there were bootlegging tunnels from the restaurant over to the apartment building where they put up the comics. So one night we were hanging out, having some drinks, and we went down into the basement, several of us, and we found there was like one of those cemented over tunnels. So we like to think that it was real. But why do they get rid of those tunnels? Like, you could really make money off tourists. Like in Door County, we were talking about Egg Harbor and the Shipwreck Pub and stuff like this.
Well, because primarily structurally they were not built that well. They were built, speedily. And a lot of times the tunnels would also serve as storage areas for alcohol, beer and wine and whatnot. And they would still block those off so that people wouldn't get into them.
Yeah.
But they had multi-purpose. They'd have, the walls and the sides lined, and then they would have the passage through the middle.
Wow. I think, wouldn't it be cool to have tunnels under your house?
Well, I do. I have chipmunks.
You'd have like a bunch of papers because you're a reader. You'd have like articles stuffed in there that you wouldn't want the police to know about. What else do we have mob-wise before we move on?
A couple things. Yeah. There was a couple stories that was real quick here. During the Prohibition, Al Capone had hosted a Christmas party in 1929, and one of his rival mobsters was ticked off at him at the time and tipped off the police about it. They came in to bust it up, and Capone was really ticked, but he still made sure that all of his people got all their prizes and gifts that they were promised, liquor and everything else. Another one was Carlo Gambino, who was head of the Gambino family in New York, primarily in Brooklyn, had a big party, and he was known for being like Mr. Give the gift kind of thing. And if you didn't take a gift from him, that'd be one of the last times you ever heard from him. Or yourself, you'd be ever heard from. Also, Frank Costello was one of these guys who just loved giving things out to people. Everybody and anybody. If he saw you and he recognized your face, you got a gift. It's
what a
like,
guy.
It's like Oprah. You got a gift, and you got a gift.
Right.
It's pretty wild. And then there was the Bonanno family where they had Christmas parties, and there was a little guy by the name of Donnie Brasco.
Oh, yeah.
Who was actually an FBI guy. And,
great movie.
It was right after one of their Christmas parties that they actually did the big bust because he had all the information that he needed and or wanted to distribute. I am trying to think here. There is another one. Oh, here it is. I was going to mention about Frank Costello. He also would give out, one year he gave out studded cufflinks, diamond-studded cufflinks, and fur coats as a holiday gesture. And it went to the politicians and the police and the judges. And if you didn't take it, you were not heard from again.
They'd kill you.
Yeah, it's over with.
Well, when you texted me earlier about the nice guy mob connection, it made me think like they're all nice guys until they kill you. Like that probably allows them to pony up to somebody. But I did search who were the nicest mobsters. And there's one, Angelo Bruno, who was referred to as the Gentle Don. That's not a reputation you want, right?
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Probably not true. And Tommy Lucchese. And the Lucchese's?
Oh, no. Three Finger Lucchese was a bad dude.
Why are they saying he's one of the nicest guys?
Well, probably paid for it.
But the Lucchese's, were they one of the 5 families?
They were part of the 5 families.
Part of the 5 families. Okay. All right. This is great stuff. I have to read some text next segment, but you're welcome to stick around. You got any other mob stuff for us?
I've got some other things that I can tell you about Christmas that are wild and crazy.
All right, we'll do that. Bob's going to stick around for a few more minutes before the news. Bridget in the 818 says, remember the Titans, great movie. Loved Sunshine Preacher. all of them. Ryan Gosling is in it too. Ryan Gosling before he was a big star. Great text, Bridget. Ed in the 608 says North Dallas 40. We've heard a few votes for North Dallas 40 tonight. Ed also says Paper Lion. Remember that one?
Wow, that's
Alan
going
Alda,
back.
I think,
Yes,
right?
Yes, he was starring as George Plimpton.
Yeah, and then Janet from Madison says, I know Mike Clemens just mentioned this movie, but it's the first one I had thought of, too, was Brian's Song. It was a big part of my teenage years. Every time it played on TV, friends would get together to watch and cry. Sad, but so great.
Ryan Piccolo and Gail
Very well
Sayers.
said, Janet. All right, we're coming back after this very short break to read more of your text. Don't go anywhere. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo.
WGBW.FM.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit WIinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
I know it's not cold enough to get out on the ice yet, but it's never too early to start preparing. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411, here to let you know that the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo is back and bigger than ever, with more than 170 exhibits with products and services dedicated to ice fishing and winter sport enthusiasts, with seminars running all 3 days and all the new ice fishing products of the year. This is an event you don't want to miss. It's December 12th through the 14th at the EAA grounds. Get your tickets now. Head to WGBW.FM and click events.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by US Aging.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
More killers. Con, that's the note of the night. Take a memo. More killers in the bumper music. I love that song. That's good energy. Welcome back to Nite Lite. Folks, I'm about to give you the keyword in our multi-state Civic Media grown-up gift list, text to win. So get that app ready because you need the app to play. And the keyword is coming in just a minute. Sean Boyce, in response to our question of the night, what is your favorite football movie, says All the Right Moves, North Dallas 40, Everybody's All-American, The Original Longest Yard. And he said, note my profile picture is the great North Dallas 40 split end, Phil Elliott, who I think was Mac Davis. But that's a great one, Sean. Thank you. And he should have just named the football movies he doesn't think are that good. So we'll do that. And then, okay. So, folks, another one of our great, really fun Civic Media Text to Win contest. We are in the throes of it. It is our grown-up gift list, multi-state Text to Win contest. All you need is the app to play. So get the app ready. I'm about to give you the keyword, and you could win $200 cash. Bob, you could use $200, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you have the Civic Media app?
Huh?
Civic Media app? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
That's how I listen to Nite Lite.
I love it. Look at this guy. What a company man right here. Fantastic. And if you text in the keyword, folks, on the app, you will be automatically enrolled for our 3 grand prizes a brand new snowblower, or a stainless steel cookware set, or a portable air conditioner. Conrad, tell people what happens when they get a confirmation link.
Yeah, you'll get a link. You just click that link, and then you can earn 3 extra entries, which you have to subscribe to, Civic Media Today, which is a great read. Get that in your email. And then you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
And you get even more chances.
Exactly.
To win. Folks, we're laying it out there for you. All right, this hour's keyword. This is exciting. Are we ready? Who's ready? Con?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Bob, you ready?
Mm-hmm, ready.
Okay, I can't find the keyword. Hold still. I know I built it up here, and now I've got it. Okay, here we go. I've got the right page. This hour's keyword in the Civic Media multi-state grown-up gift list text to win contest is freeze. 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 That's apropos.
Good spelling, by the way.
It's called. You wouldn't know what you did. What was the word you tried to spell?
Green. I spelled it so wrong.
Did you spell it Gren?
I put 2 N's in there or something.
Grenn. Gren. This hour's keyword is freeze. Freeze. Text that in on the app, folks. And good luck, everybody. Let's have some fun. All right, Bob Dennis, we've got a few more minutes with Bob here. This
Can
has
I
been
tell you
fun
one quick
as
story
usual.
here?
Absolutely.
Okay. When I was living in Connecticut, I had to do the Scripps Howard Spelling Bee contest. I was the moderator.
Oh, cool.
The pronouncer is actually the title I had. And you would say the word for the children to say. So they had to say the word, spell it, say it again and spell it, and then use it in a sentence.
Boy, that's lengthy.
It was the worst time of my life. Because I'm thinking, I'll go in there. These kids aren't going to give me much of a challenge. I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, my. The words they had in there, I had no clue. And I had some that they had given me ahead of time. Never do it again.
And you're the adult.
Yeah. It's like, okay, the pronouncer would like to pass on this word, please. And parents are like groaning, like, oh, no.
What was it hard to watch a kid lose, too?
Not really. I mean, because the thing is you started out with like 10,000 kids, and they put the hard words right in the beginning because they wanted those babies just dropping off that
They want
stage.
the half-wits to take the powder.
It's like, okay, you're done, kid. You know, and people are like, yes, my kid's still in there.
Bob, this has been fun, sir. As always, thank you. Do you have another? It looks like you got another fun fact to it.
Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff. In Japan,
you got a couple minutes.
In Japan, for Christmas, people traditionally have what?
Soup
for dinner.
Sushi.
Geese.
Think American.
Turkey. Ham.
Getting close.
Cheeseburgers.
Chicken.
Tofu.
Ding.
No, not tofu.
What did he say? What did Conrad say?
I said chicken.
And that's correct?
Japanese families often have KFC chicken for Christmas.
Wow.
And
Well
they have
done.
to order it weeks in advance.
What is that about?
I have no clue.
That's like Jewish people that don't celebrate Christmas like to watch the NBA and eat Chinese food. Remember what movie that's from, Conrad? Your boy.
Is that from Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. And I had heard that, and I have a lot of Jewish friends. I'd heard that. Like, I don't understand why they do that, but it's kind of a cool tradition.
Because there are usually only Asian restaurants that are open on Christmas.
Yeah, okay.
I have
That makes
worked,
sense.
having been in the media, you know this, that if you want to get something to eat and it's Christmas, the only thing that's
Asian
open
food
is
is the way to go.
usually some, Asian food store.
Okay, very good.
In the Ukraine, it's good luck if you decorate your Christmas tree with
Soap. Sydney Sweeney soap.
Nope.
Because it
Oh,
has a little
Jesus.
hole in it. You could hang it on the branches.
Ooh.
I was kind of proud of myself.
Have you gone to therapy lately?
Not lately.
No, it's it's spider webs.
Whoa, what do you make of that, Bob?
It's kind of it's it works. It's cheap. It's affordable.
How do you make the spider to do that?
Yeah, how do you?
You're kind of a pervert. In 1965, astronauts were broadcasting a famous Christmas song from outer space, and they claimed it came from a UFO. This is in 1965.
Okay.
What song do you think they did?
Hang on, Sloopy.
No, come on.
What? A Beatles tune?
No.
Last
It's
Christmas?
a Christmas tune.
Wham?
1965.
Oh, White Christmas.
Boy, you guys are bad.
Silent Night.
It's Jingle Bells. All right. On the subject of songs, the original, and I won't make a question of this, the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was a marketing song that was put together. And they took it out.
I knew this.
Huh?
I think I knew this, but go ahead.
And they tried to get many different people to sing it. They started with Bing Crosby, and he was like, well, I don't think I'm going to do that one because it's not my kind of thing. Anyways, so who did they end up getting in 1939 to sing the song? The very first person.
Burl Ives.
Nope. The very
Ronald
first.
Reagan.
Nope.
Frank Sinatra.
Nope.
Mariah Carey.
No, it was actually Gene Autry, the cowboy star.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And he was the guy who actually sang it. And he did it because his wife told him it was going to be a great song. It made millions of dollars.
Did he get a taste?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in 1939.
See how I did that? I pulled it back to the mob. Bob Dennis, thank you as always, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank
we
you.
gotta go. It's
Putting up with
lovely
me.
having you here, my friend.
Don't lie to me.
Looking forward to that 8th visit, which is right around the corner. That's your Christmas gift.
Thank you, sir.
Bob Dennis, folks. We are coming right back with Bridget Zilke from the Wade House. A really cool event coming up there. We'll tell you all about it. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The strength, and you're jumping on. Yes, you're jumping on a fast train.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. In Washington, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has not said publicly today if he will support calls to release the full video of September 2nd U.S. airstrikes on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean that killed its survivors. ABC's Mary Bruce.
Hegseth has said he only watched the first strike live and learned of the other hours later. But over the weekend, the secretary said that after that initial strike, he was told a re-attack was needed because, quote, there were a couple folks who could still be in the fight. He said he responded, Roger. Sounds good.
President Trump threatening new tariffs against Mexico today, accusing the country of violating a water treaty in order to hurt Texas farmers. He says the country still owes the U.S. over 800,000 acre-feet of water for failing to comply over the last 5 years. Now the commander-in-chief is threatening an immediate 5% tariff on the country if 200,000 acre-feet of water isn't released before December 31st. Trump says the country has not responded yet. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Cloudy with flurries and snow showers tonight. Temps steady close to 20. A couple inches possible. Winter storm warning for Tuesday and Tuesday night. Snow showers heavy at times. 4 to 8 inches possible. And a gusty breeze to near 30 miles an hour. Colder for the rest of the week. Currently 21 degrees.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home.
My sweet Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord.
Welcome back.
I really wanna see you.
Sometimes I take my time if I like the song before I talk. Puts me in a good mood. Hey, this has been really fun, folks. We are in the home stretch here of this Monday night edition of Nite Lite. Always fun. We've had a good time here, Con. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Great Monday.
Thought you'd say that. All Mondays are great, dude. It's just great to be back on the air. All right, so I am about to welcome my final guest of the night. Very excited to talk to this woman. We have a friend at the Wisconsin Historical Society named Rebecca Warner, and she has referred some outstanding guests to us, and she is also responsible for my next guest joining me here on Nite Lite tonight. She is the, and we're going to talk about a really cool event. Conrad, gas up the truck. We might have to road trip.
Okay, sounds good.
She is the director for the Wade House, one of the 12 Wisconsin Historical Society's campuses or sites, I guess you would say. And she joins us now over the stream to talk about said event. Bridget Zilke. Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Pete.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. How's it going so far, do you think?
How's it going so far? Well,
Yeah.
we have plenty of snow, so we're ready for a Wade House Christmas this coming weekend on the 13th and 14th of December.
I love that. We're going to talk all about this. This is, like you said, this weekend. And you guys at the Wisconsin Historical Society, all the people we've had on talk about these outstanding events. If people do come out to the Wade House this weekend, what can we expect that experience to be like?
You will experience the warmth and charm of a 19th century holiday. So we have both our visitor center and our Wade House Stagecoach Inn decorated. They're both decorated with fresh greens. So there's garland, there's fresh sprigs. There are two Christmas trees, one that's 8 foot tall and one that's 5 foot tall. The 5 foot tall tree is in the Wade House. It's actually candle lit, and twice per hour during each day, we light the candles, and it's just a very charming atmosphere. And you feel like you're taken back to Christmas in the 1850s.
And why do people love that so much? Is that just like a more innocent time? I mean, we have so much commercialism, and if Christmas has become so media glorified or maybe consumerish or whatever you want to call it. But this does take you back, doesn't it?
It does take you back, I think, to a period of time where the pace was much slower than it is today. And perhaps those families had more of a chance to slow down and enjoy each other's companies and the season itself. And it wasn't as materialistic as perhaps it is today.
So great. Okay, so if you're looking to check out this event at the Wade House this weekend, folks, Greenbush is just west of Plymouth on Highway 23 between Sheboygan and Lake Winnebago. Not a far drive, really, for anybody in our listening audience. We're on statewide, Bridget, but we have a lot of listeners in Milwaukee, Madison, Northeast Wisconsin. So it sounds like a great event. Now, it says the program was designed for students, but I'm just guessing it's equally as fun for adults?
Yes, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. New this year, we are offering school tours, which are also titled A Wade House Christmas. So Monday through Friday, schools can come through and get a similar experience to what we offer to the public on the weekend of December 13th and 14th. So we are embracing teachers and students of all ages, just wanting to provide them with a chance to meet Father Christmas, to listen to A Night Before Christmas, to sing the 12 Days of Christmas, just really to provide them with an opportunity to get an understanding of what Christmas in the past would have been like.
And it's interesting. I think so many of us from year to year, I know there have been times, like I would say over the last 10 years where 2 or 3 of those years I had trouble getting in the Christmas spirit. You know what I mean? But like when you go to these great Wisconsin historical sites, that's exactly what they're designed to do. Or maybe not why they're designed to do that, but they just do. They put you in that mood.
We have developed this program to do just that, to put you in the mood of wanting to embrace the merriment of the season of Christmas. And you don't have to do any of the work. We've already decorated the trees. We've hired the musicians. You are able to come and enjoy the experience. We do have many hands-on activities, both in the visitor center, which is located right on Highway 23, but also in the historic core where the Wade House Stagecoach Inn is located and where our blacksmith shop is located. So you get to, if you're interested, decorate a gingerbread cookie that is in the shape of a gingerbread boy. You are able to make a paper ornament, which you can take home and hang on your tree. Or if you don't want to make a paper ornament, you can purchase one of the ornaments that our blacksmith is forging in the blacksmith shop as you're watching. So we are also thrilled to say that we have live music taking place in both the visitor center and in the Wade House Stagecoach Inn. So we have several local music groups who come in and perform. So on Saturday in our visitor center, we'll have the Kohler High School Madrigal Singers, and they're singing songs from, the 15th and 16th centuries. We then also on Saturday have Sound Celebration, which is a local women's a cappella group, and they sing a variety of songs. And just hearing live music, for me at least, gets me in that holiday spirit. On Sunday, we have the Sheboygan North High School Holiday Strings performing, the Random Lake Chamber Singers, and then again, the Sheboygan North High School Northern Lights. And they are mostly vocal, the musicians who are coming into the visitor center, but down at the Wade House the Stagecoach Inn, we have instrumentalists. So we'll have a violin, someone playing the violin. We'll have someone playing the guitar, and they're playing music that is from the period. So when you step into the Wade House, it's as if you just stepped off the stagecoach and you're entering the tap room or you're entering the front parlor, and you're hearing the types of music they would have been greeted by as they walked through the front door and said hello to Sylvanus and Betsy Wade.
That's so great. My guest is Bridget Zilke. She is the director of the Wade House, one of the great Wisconsin Historical Society's 12 sites that they manage here in Wisconsin. Bridget, so you've got, and if you want more information, it's wadehouse.org, correct? WADE.
That is correct.
House.org. Definitely check that out. The prices are very reasonable. The event is taking place this Saturday and Sunday, December 13th and 14th. They've got horse-drawn wagon rides through the woods to Wade House, which is so cool. Family decorating, scavenger hunts, caroling throughout the day. Like, what more could you possibly ask for to get yourself in that Christmas spirit? And you mentioned the blacksmith and a horse-drawn carriage, right?
Yes. So if you visit the Wade House, you start the experience at our visitor center, and everyone will receive a horse-drawn wagon ride. And the horses during this season wear sleigh bells. So it will be a magical journey from the visitor center down to the historic core, which is about a mile in length. And right now Wade House's property is like a winter wonderland. So you're traveling on this curvy road that crosses the Mullet River, and it's quite beautiful and enchanting. So that's I believe the special activities that we offer to any guest who comes to the Wade House is this horse-drawn transportation. And the Wade House itself, the historic site, the story we're telling is a horse-powered story, right? We're speaking of the era of horse-drawn carriages and buggies, and an inn where travelers who had been on a horse-drawn wagon or a stagecoach stop in for a bite to eat, something to drink, or perhaps to spend the night.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Tell us, if you would please, Bridget, a little bit about the family that created Wade House, and a little bit about the history, if you would please, of the house.
Absolutely. So Wade House, Stagecoach Inn, was built in the late 1840s and opened in 1850. It was built by Sylvanus and Betsy Wade, and they were on the frontier and they were entrepreneurs. They had moved from out east to Greenbush and just loved Greenbush and decided to settle in the community, or to create a community. And
you could turn your phone off if you like. There's no worry there.
it's not my phone, so I'd have to go searching.
Oh, no, no worries then.
But perhaps let me go. It might be my husband.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. So, Con, I'm just going to take this moment right now. Folks, just a reminder that in our Civic Media multi-state grown-up gift list text to win contest, I'm about to give you the keyword again as before we start up with Bridget here again. But our grown-up gift list text to win multi-state contest keyword of this hour. And if you text in and win, we could put $200 cash in your pocket, which always helps around this time of year. And you will be automatically enrolled for our $3,000 prizes, which is a brand new snowblower, a stainless steel cookware set, or a portable air conditioner. The only stipulation is you have to text in on the app to be eligible. So get your phones ready, or your iPads, or whatever, because this hour's text to win keyword, once again, is freeze. 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 Conrad, I spelled that well. And
yes, you
tell
did.
people what else they can do to increase their chances to win, please.
Yeah, once you text in, you'll get a confirmation link. You click that link, and you can earn extra entries by subscribing to the newsletter, Civic Media Today. Great read. Get that in your inbox.
Absolutely.
And then also, you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, both, and you get 3 extra entries.
That is the Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba podcast, to clarify. Thank you, Conrad, and good luck, everybody. Freeze, Freeze. That is the keyword. Text it in on your app, and you'll be off to the races. We've got a few more minutes with our guest here, Bridget Zilke. She is the site director for the Wade House, one of the great 12 Wisconsin Historical Society sites. We were talking about the history of the site, Bridget, and it includes you talked about the blacksmith shop, but I thought this was interesting. There is a working water-powered sawmill, one of the only of its kind in the nation. That is really, I think that's worth going there alone.
It absolutely is. It's amazing. It was built in 2001, and it's a replica of a sawmill that stood in that same area in the 1850s. It won't be open this weekend because it is water powered and it's not heated. But if you come back during our main season, which is the end of May through the beginning of November, you will see a tradesman at work in the sawmill, and you see an up and down muley saw in action. And I will tell you, it's my husband's favorite part of the site to visit, because you walk in, you smell the sawdust, you see the saw traveling up and down, cutting through a piece of lumber, and it's just an incredible way to experience history. And it's so different, so unique. One of, I think, a handful of sawmills that are operating in the United States. And I would be remiss to not mention that we have at our site the Wesley W. Young Carriage Museum, which is the state's largest collection of horse-drawn vehicles. So we have more than 80 hand-drawn and horse-drawn vehicles on display at our visitor center. Go ahead.
Let's pick up right there. We're going to do a really short break, and then I'm going to tell you one more thing that this weekend offers. We're coming right back. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Experts, assuming that there are some out there, they're probably alone.
Sturgeon Spirits of Oshkosh. Next door to their cocktail bar and tasting room on Oregon Street is the Ready Room, open for your next event. A private bar with aviation-inspired details. It's ideal for intimate parties, conferences, or holiday parties and reunions. Sturgeon Spirits, 2663 Oregon Street in Oshkosh, and at grocery and liquor stores throughout the Fox Valley. As you begin your holiday travels, buy local, drink global, and take a piece of Oshkosh with you. SturgeonSpirits.com.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Wisconsin. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric.
Welcome back. Tomorrow night on Nite Lite, host of Matt and Air on Air, Jane Matt and Air, joins us at 5:35. That might be, she's retiring this week, Conrad. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Incredible career Jane has had. She joins us tomorrow night to talk about it a little bit. From the RAR West Museum in Manitowoc, Executive Director Greg Vadney drops by the studio. He's always fun to have here. And then another Wisconsin Historical Society guest, Jenny Peterson from Madison's History Maker Space. So more fun tomorrow night. And we've got a couple more minutes with our current guest, Bridget Zilke, who is the site director for the Wade House. And we were talking about a Wade House Christmas. And they have a great field trip for students this year, all kinds of fun stuff. Bridget, before we let you go, I just want to say one of the things that jumped out at me, we talked about how it's you celebrate kind of traditional Christmases and it's a very nostalgic. I love that you have a live reading of The Night Before Christmas. How cool is that?
It's loved by everyone.
Yeah.
And it's such a popular story, but I feel that in our setting, it really comes to life.
Yeah, I agree. And this is just a recap. It's happening this weekend. It's December 13th and 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Wade House in Greenbush, Wisconsin. Admission is just, for all the stuff we just talked about, admission is only $15 for adults and teens, $13 for seniors, and $8 for kids. If you want more information, check out the Wade House or just wadehouse.org. Wadehouse.org, W-A-D-E, house.org. Bridget, this has been fun. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and I hope the event goes swimmingly this weekend, and please come back sometime.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Pete. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Okay, that's Bridget Zilke. Check out a Wade House Christmas taking place this weekend in Greenbush. An outstanding, and thank you. Another shout out to Rebecca Warner for setting us up with such fun guests. Con, how are we doing? So we got a few more texts to read here.
You got a Steady Eddie text.
We got a Steady Eddie text?
Yeah.
Well, if I start now, maybe I'll be done by tomorrow
Exactly.
morning, so I better get going on that. We kid because we love Steady Eddie. I'd like to thank all my guests tonight. Mike Clemens started off with a bang with some Packer Bear talk. We had Bob Dennis in studio talking mob stuff. Glenn Silber talking about his film playing at the Barrymore on Wednesday and Thursday night called Baristas versus Billionaires. And Glenn is an outstanding filmmaker who's won tons of awards and went to school at UW-Madison. So thank you to all those people. Thank you for your texts and calls. I hope people find success in our Text to Win contest. Tyler from Wisconsin Rapids in the 608 answers our movie question, which is, what is your favorite football movie? We've got a few more texts here before we get out of here. Tyler says, The Last Boy Scout. Football in the pouring rain with fireworks. I don't know how they pulled that out. That was Damon Wayans, I think, or one of the Wayans brothers, I think, was the star, or maybe Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. Dave in the 608, our pal Dave, says Brian's song, another great one. Even a Packer fan, Conrad, can love Brian's song. It's hard not to like. We also heard No Packers, No Life from Rita, our friend Craig Benzine. Matt from Middleton. Oh, I think I read these. Wow, are we all caught up?
Yeah, just a novel by Steady Eddie is on the text line.
All right, I'll get to that. We do have our pal John in the 608 on the east side of Madison. Says Warren Beatty. Can't remember the name. He played Joe Pendleton, and the movie was Heaven Can Wait. And Warren Beatty plays a guy who, Joe Pendleton, a guy who wants to play quarterback. He finally got his shot, but he's involved in this horrible accident. And the messenger from heaven pulled him out of his body, pulled his soul out, so he wouldn't experience pain. And as it turns out, he would have lived. So now they got to find a body for the soul. And it's very comical, very funny. Buck Henry plays the messenger from heaven. Charles Grodin plays a billionaire's secretary, and he's having an affair with the billionaire's wife, played by Diane Keaton. Very fun movie. Lots of laughs. Some very sweet moments, too, though. Monica from Mount Horeb says, I vote for The Longest Yard, the original one. Wow, what do you think is the winner, Con? Longest Yard got a lot. Heaven Can Wait got a lot.
Brian's song got a lot, too.
Brian's song got a lot. Yeah, it's a tough one. But great text, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's get to Steady Eddie's text, and he can bring us home here tonight. I'm going to the text line. Lots of keywords. That's good to see. I'm having trouble here, Con. Oh, there we go. I got Steady. Oh, my gosh. I think Steady Eddie wrote a football movie in this text. This is awesome. I better start now. Steady Eddie says, well, there you go again, Pete, disparaging the skills of acting President Reagan. I'm still disappointed that Ronald Reagan did not win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his performance in Bedtime for Bonzo. No, you're not, Steady Eddie. When he played second banana to a chimpanzee. If Ronald Reagan didn't deserve the Academy Award that year, then I'm a monkey's uncle. That's a famous old phrase that I have not heard. I'm guessing Steady Eddie's older than us.
I thought he'd be like 25.
Monkey's uncle. I love that, Steady Eddie. He says, unfortunately for the Gipper, Bonzo stole the movie with a very nuanced portrayal of a misunderstood monkey. I've written an updated sequel screenplay to Bedtime for Bonzo called Bonzo Goes Bananas. And I'd like you to play the lead in the movie, Pete. Am I playing a chimp, Eddie? Thanks for thinking of me, though. He says, could you also direct, produce, and finance my film? Thanks in advance, Steady Eddie. Postscript, Conrad knows what that means. Best football movie, Rudy. So you're saying Rudy, Steady Eddie. Rudy got a lot of votes, too.
Yeah.
Steady Eddie,
well,
you've outdone
it just
yourself.
got 4 right there.
You got 4. I think it's the winner because of Steady Eddie. Thank you, sir. Always fun to read your text, pal. We got so much fun coming up tomorrow night, folks, and we'll get into all kinds of fun topics as usual. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad. How are we doing on time? Am I going way too early? We got a minute left?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a ton of stuff planned. All right. Thank you again, everybody. Thanks to the guests. And get yourself a Yinling beer, Conrad.
I've had too many already.
During the show?
Maybe.
How hammered
No,
are
I'm
you?
just
Seriously. Just be honest. All right. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
Take me to your best friend's house, mama.